Hey, y'all, gravity. Any day above ground, live it. Now, you see what I have on the screen. It's a saying we have over here in New Black Media called cut the check. What that means is if you follow Dr. Martin Luther King, you know that everybody likes I Have a Dream. We know this. But there was also another speech he did when he said, we're coming to Washington to get our check. And I'm going to assume that this statement was born off of that. Reparations has become a hot button topic over the last, let's just say conservatively, 3 years. People didn't want to talk about it. Black Americans said, y'all gonna talk about it. And it has left social media and gone on to the mainstream. And it has its opponents and its proponents. Y'all know I am a proponent of reparations for the descendants of chattel slavery because that is a blood debt owed. But yes, there are people that are against it. So I said, all right, let's talk to one of them. Now, this man did a video that I had done last week, and he said he was not in favor of it. So I said, let me talk to him, see why he feels that way, and we have a conversation. So I am on with, do you want to be addressed as Middle MAGA or Cyrus?
The people know me by Osiris.
Okay. So we are talking with Osiris of
What's good?
middlemaga.com. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we're going to allow him to play his, well, we're not going to play the video because I'm sure all of you saw it. We're going to let him have a few minutes to articulate his position, but please go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for having me on. It's great to have a discussion. I go by Osiris. I've got a website called middlemaga.com. And when I say the word MAGA, just to make sure that everybody understands, for me, it means populism. It's not attached to Donald Trump, even though we know Donald Trump, Steve Bannon and others made it big. I kind of took the branding. I want to make it my own thing. But in 2020, I grabbed a camera, just started talking. I'm on YouTube, podcast. I go by Osiris, middlemaga.com. Thanks.
All right. So, like I said, your video caught the attention of New Black Media, particularly me. And you had some, I guess we'll say, harsh critiques of how Black America is with the subject of reparations. So if you can you briefly go over why you feel as though they should not have reparations?
Yeah, so my take on reparations isn't that Black people shouldn't have it. My take is that you should never feel, I don't care how much blood is in the soil, I don't care what happened in the past, you should never feel that you're entitled to something. You should never feel that something is owed to you, because what that does is it takes away your hunger to get it. So I'd love to be a billionaire that ain't owed to me for whatever reason. And I think the chase for reparation it's been toxic. So if you get the power to get reparations, I'm still against it, but more respect to you. I think the broader issue to me that is concerning is that there are many Black Americans that define Blackness with agreement, as if you can't be Black and disagree about reparations. So that's just the big picture.
Okay, that's fine. Well, like I said, I'm for reparations because, again, it is a debt that is owed to Black Americans, especially since Lincoln promised the 40 acres and a mule. But something you just said, I get that people don't understand or they don't want to see Black Americans get reparations. But my thing is, if you're seeing other groups getting it and the government has no problem doling out this money, why is it when it comes to Black Americans, there's so much of a problem? Why is everybody doing think pieces? Why is everybody going online saying, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, rising tides lifts all boats? Why is it that the Black American descendants, they're getting talked down upon. But like we seen where I live now in Atlanta, 8 Chinese, 8 Asian people get killed, and in 2 weeks they get reparations. They're getting legislation.
Yeah, I have a problem with all of it. And I think that's a fair critique to make sure that somebody's consistent. I don't care if you're Jewish, Native American, Muslim, Uyghurs in China. Yeah, if you are, I did the video, you talked about it in that live last week. For me, I'm not against you looking to get reparations. Really, I'm more the part that really triggers me the most is saying that it's owed. And I understand, I don't blame you or anybody else for using that term, but I would challenge you to, because you're not going to get it with that mindset. The mindset is, this is a goal of ours, but it ain't nothing owed. Because am I off there let's talk about the owed for a second. Am I
Mm-hmm.
off there in saying like, okay, if I kind of look at it like, say I'm in the street and the Rock Johnson takes my cell phone
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get it back. It's my cell phone. I want to get it back,
Mm-hmm.
but he could beat my ass. And how do I get the phone back from him? Am I entitled to have it back? Yeah, you could argue that. Is it owed back to me? Yeah, you could argue that. But how do you get that from somebody where you can't just snatch it from them? I think you have to take that entitled and owed out, and then you start getting creative and start playing chess.
Okay. Well, I would counter with this. Black Americans have been doing that for centuries. They've been taking, they've been showing people, if you don't honor what you said, we're going to make life difficult. And we've seen other groups take that same mindset and get what they want. Obama gave the LGBTQ the right to get married. They asked for that. He was deathly against same-sex marriage. They told him point blank, we're going to make your life difficult, meaning you're not going to get elected again if we don't get this. They got it. Black Americans are doing this right now. We're knocking off these pawns. Your Stacey Abrams, your Mandela Barnes. We're making life uncomfortable for people. And these administrations know that. But the thing is, they don't want to come negotiate. They just like, hey, you know what? Just come to us election time. Maybe we'll do something. That's not going to work anymore. This is a different breed of Black Americans y'all are dealing with. These aren't their parents. These aren't their grandparents. They go outside. They just had a rally in November. Don't think the administration didn't know about that. It was right down the street. So they're changing tactics right now. And everybody's still coming with those same talking points. It's going to be very interesting these next 18 months, but you may go now.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Here's how I explained it. Even though we disagree on reparations, the process to get the political power to get there, I'm all there with you on that journey. What do I mean? We got to get our schools right. They running up in the schools, and when I say our, just using that generally, just because I don't live in an inner city area, but um, we've got schools that are predominantly black out here, like Baltimore. Last I saw, 75% high schoolers not reading at a fourth grade level,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to come out here talking about changing boys to girls. We don't. I don't want to hear anything about reparations until that poison is ran up out the schools. I don't want to hear anything about reparations until we got our kids right. They got armies of kids running down the street saying Black trans lives matter. And I'm looking like, what the hell is going on? If I grew up in the 90s where the black movement was more of it wasn't like a white hate. It was more of like a, intelligent hoodlum, like I'm black and I'm proud type of stuff. Now it's like, the Tennessee Three came up recently on MSNBC and all these TV shows. My man Justin Pearson can't go 2 words without talking about LGBT rights. So I disagree that I like what the movement to try and hold these representatives accountable, but we have a Dixiecrat as president right now. You've got Kamala Harris. People don't think I'm black because I'm a first generation American. But you got Kamala Harris, Indian and Jamaican. They put her in front of y'all like she's some black leader. And 100 people wrote letters to Biden to have her picked. So there's a long way. And before you even get to Kamala Harris and all that, what do you think about the schools and education? Can you talk about reparations and at the same time get the schools right? Because I don't see that happening.
Yes, sir. We've been doing that. They actually just came out with a study. 30% of black children are not in these public schools anymore. They're being homeschooled or going private.
Yep, I seen that.
We can, you again. I think a lot of. I'm not saying. I'm just saying generally MAGA, like the white side and even the black ones that I call them the TV YouTube conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see that. They don't want to report on that because in a way, Black America is taking ownership of the problems that they can fix. Y'all don't want to teach the kids right? Cool. We'll do it ourselves. Or we'll go to an Afrocentric private school. We'll do that. They don't want to report on that. They just want to throw out the black kids are falling behind. Okay, fine, whatever. We talk about reparations all the time. What's the first thing they want to bring up? Oh, it's what about the crime in Chicago? Okay, we had mass shooter a couple weeks ago kill a whole bunch of people. In that one day, they did that. That weekend after, Chicago had 2 people get killed. But Chicago's always the narrative. Black people are taking ownership. Is it perfect? No. But in a situation with limited resources and the government knows what they need to do to get Black America right, they won't do it because they're scared of what Black America is going to become if they help them. This is why we're fighting for reparations. It's not just about the cash. It's about fixing our own problems because apparently the government doesn't want to do it. But all these talking heads, all they're seeing is just money. Oh, this, why are we going to give them money? I'm not giving my tax money to Black people so they can get right. Let me explain this to white people. White people, this debt is between them and the U.S. government. You have nothing to do with this. It's not like Black Americans said we coming to these white people and we're gonna take your money. That's them radicals. That's not it. This is between them and the government. So unless you're going to be a proxy and a spokesman for the government, stay out of this. If you're for it, cool. Go on your platforms, help out the cause. If you're not, as I always say, be quiet. Because y'all would not like it. And I know y'all would regulate if somebody in your camp, when you're trying to get something, sits there and gums up the works. We know this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't have any problem with the feedback. Y'all gave me a lot of. I didn't realize the video was going to go that big, but which is fine. Y'all,
you got to understand, when it comes up with reparations, the algorithm it hits us. So
wow.
we gonna listen to what you say. Because again, if you're on Twitter, reparations trends every other day. It's either reparations or reparations now. So when you say reparations in the video, Elon Musk with his racist ass, he's gonna put that video up. He's gonna highlight it because you're going against it. So we listen to it. And when you said to give them a ticket and money and donations to wherever the hell else they want to go, that you should have now you understand when you say things like that, that contingent's coming for you.
Oh, I have no
Jamaican
problem.
to Jamaican, just realize that's going to happen.
So, yeah, I have no problem with it. I think it's good to spark a discussion on it. And so my take is, as far as the homeschooling, I actually did a video on that a while back. I've talked about it too. That's great. So I like to hear that kind of stuff, taking your kids out of the system and teaching them on your own. I got 2 kids. I'm not doing that. I got to think about, do I want my kids coming up in the public school system? I think that's a powerful thing because that goes towards my number one lesson of slavery. My number one lesson from slavery is to not get enslaved. And there's a concern right now with not just Black people, just people in general, We're on YouTube right now. We can't even say anything we want to say. Regardless, I'm saying stuff that's not law, not breaking the law, not threats or anything like that. There's certain things that they will say we can't say. So it's not like slavery, back in the day, but you ain't free if you can't say certain things. They out here banning people for just free speech. So for me, that's a bigger concern than getting any type of compensation for reparations. That will take generations of work. Black Americans aren't there, and you see what you're right. The Democratic Party is the one running all this stuff. Republicans are right up under them too. So I'm not telling people to go to Republicans, but we know the Democrat Party is disgusting. And what they're doing is just using black people, and then now they're funneling in. They think this immigration is going to vote for them so they can marginalize black people because they saw during the pandemic black people didn't fall in line like they thought. And they're trying to replace them slowly but surely, kind of replacing black people with the trans identity, LGBT, and then immigration.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, again, this is two parties having a disagreement. And it would behoove us, especially us that are not of the soil, to either help or stay out of it. And I agree with what you just said about, with the schools and the others and the voting and all that. I get that. But you also have to understand, like I said in the beginning, this is going to be a hot button topic. And we need to try to limit as many voices as we can that it's against, because these presidential candidates going to have to answer for this. And I know their bases are overwhelmingly white. We get that. But the more positives that we can have out there with the actual logistical data, it'll go a long way to eventually get this happening. I'm telling you right now, y'all give Black Americans reparations, y'all won't hear nothing else after that. They'll take care of their own problems.
Yeah.
They'll go ahead.
I will disagree with that. I mean, but that shouldn't be the deciding factor. So let me be clear. Either reparations is the right thing to do or it isn't. Doesn't matter what happens afterwards. But I don't think it helps anything. I don't think reparations.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack Johnson. Sir, I don't know how you identify. Yes, it's called limiting voices when you are actively stopping somebody. I don't think you guys would like it if you guys needed something and a whole bunch of people said, nah, don't do that for them. I don't think you would like that. I think you would want their voices limited, because their voices in majority get louder. Your concerns don't get highlighted. That's what I mean by limiting voices. But sure, go off. It's fine. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
I appreciate. No. And here's what I say: that I appreciate you having a respectful discussion about it, and that's what we need. So I'm hoping in the chat everybody's respectful. This not coming on any. I don't do any disrespect unless somebody disrespects me. So I don't. I appreciate that, and I hear what you're talking about, because I'll do the same thing. Within the MAGA world or whatever, somebody says something, I'm on it. Like, wait a second, what did this person say? I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's good. I think it's good for us to have these discussions. So let me change it over to this. Did you see that video from Mark Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's what happened, and I respect. I'm really sad to see that Marcel and I had to go back and forth. This is Marcel Dixon out of South Carolina 6, I believe, district, running against Jim Clyburn. I have propped him up, said MAG is not winning South Carolina District 6. So I would rather a real person like him, or like you. I would have a real person, even if we disagree on reparations, represent there. But here's what I really didn't like. Mark Robinson in the video said, no, he doesn't agree with reparations, just like me. And then he said, Black Americans today owe their ancestors, is all he said. Do you agree with that assessment of his video?
Say that last part again.
So he said no to reparations. Mm-hmm. And he basically just generally saying, Mark Robinson, if you didn't see the video, he's lieutenant governor of North Carolina. Yeah. And he was at this speech, it was 2021. Mm-hmm. And he basically said, no reparations, I don't agree with it. And Black Americans owe their ancestors for the opportunity that we have now, is what I took from it. And the reason why Marcella and I went back and forth, I'm only using him as an example here, is because we can disagree, but let's
Mhm.
be respectful enough to correctly, and you sound that way to me, respectfully portray what his position was.
Mhm. Well, Mark Robinson was, how do I say this with being while being respectful? This ain't his first rodeo saying something like that, but he was appealing to his white base because he wants to become governor. He's saying everything they want him to say. And don't worry, Isaac, I'm going to answer your question about Elon in a minute. He that was like a backhanded compliment the way I took it. Like, you should be thankful that you have these opportunities because your ancestors died for it. But he also said something in there that many of us, when we talked about it, did not agree with, when he said that he basically alluded to that we should, what was it? We should thank the people that died for it, and also that we should, I just had it in my head.
The
What
civil
was it?
rights part of it, or
No, no,
okay.
no. Basically, well, the way I took it was this. You can't, that's what it was. He said it was a liberal issue.
Oh, I missed that part. Yeah, a
Yeah, he,
liberal
he
issue.
basically said he told some liberal that you're not
Oh yeah,
getting
yeah. That's how he
reparations.
started. He said I
Right.
triggered some liberal. Okay. So what you didn't?
Reparations with Black America is not a liberal or conservative issue.
I agree with that. Mhm.
There's both sides that are for it. There's both sides against it.
Yep.
It's not just a one side issue. And I think that's a lot of these Republicans and Democrats and ideologues, they stay on one side. I get they don't want to talk to the other side because the other side's, nut jobs and whatever. But when it comes to something like this is everybody, because Black America is not a one way. We know this. But you see how in that speech he already limited Black America to the liberal side, even though we know that Black America is socially conservative. We know this, and it's been highlighted many times. But again, he's appealing to a white base because his white base is
Mhm.
conservative. So him saying that, it's kind of like he's kind of like trying to do the broken clock twice a works twice a day theory. Like, I'm gonna say a little bit of truth that they gonna like, but I'm gonna just yell out the BS because I need to get elected. So yeah, we all had a problem with it. But again, like I said, this is not the first time he said something like
Yeah.
that. And
But
also, Isaac, you want me to prove Elon Musk is racist? The day he bought Twitter, the N-word trended. Didn't stop it, but yeah,
people were
he's not a
feeling
racist. He's
no.
not a racist.
So no, I don't think Elon's. But you're right though, because you know what was happening. I'm gonna get to your comments there. What was happening is people were kind of like, "Is this like Gab now? Can we start dropping n bombs?" But your comment though on Mark Robinson, that's what I'm saying. We can have a respectful disagreement. Everything you said
Mhm,
there, I don't agree with everything, but that's a respectful disagreement. The problem
mhm,
I had with it wasn't anything you said there. Because you even said black people are naturally socially conservative, more religious, typically. But what the problem I had was it was portrayed as Mark Robinson said black Americans owe the government reverse reparations. There's even articles on the internet with that headline. So my only thing was like, man, come on, let's have a discussion just like you're having now without trying to misconstrue the man's words. So I appreciate that.
mhm. Therefore, Elon's racist. This so dumb clown. Good. You know what you can do? You can go watch Roblox videos. Have
Mhm.
fun. You can go do that and take
Let's not,
And
yeah,
take
let's keep it
Jack Johnson with you. Take him with you. I'm sure
let's
y'all
keep
can
it
find something to
respectful.
do on Twitch.
Yeah, let's keep
That's
it
all right.
respectful.
Oh,
Here's
by
here,
the way, I just used my free speech.
I use it all the time. I'm all there for you.
But yeah.
But the problem one the biggest problem I had with what you just disagreement with what you just said is
Mhm,
why do black Americans still to this day, we're just talk about the general presidential election,
mhm.
vote for Democrats? Voted for Joe Biden. 90, what is it, about 90, 85%? And don't let
Uh-huh.
me get started on politically black women. at 90+% voting for Joe Biden.
Hmm.
So,
Because
uh,
I'll
uh,
say it like this: most of them don't do research.
so then here's my take. I don't
Hmm.
want to hear anything about reparations until that is handled, because
Well, we actually are handling it.
okay. Well, then we need to see the
Because
numbers
if
change.
the numbers, if it was still status quo, Joe Biden would have handled Trump. It wouldn't have needed 3 extra days to find out who the winner was. It would have been 90 across the board black men, 90 whatever across the board with black women. He would have trounced them. The
And
fact that they had to go for like 3 to 5 extra days, that tells you something.
yeah.
The
So I think the
it changed.
education problem is more important. Don't get me wrong, but let's talk about the political part, and then I'm going to ask you a question. But
Hmm.
so those numbers have to change. And again, I am not talking about going to the Republican Party. The corporate Republican Party is exactly the same as the Democrats. The Democrats are the one that have
Hmm.
power for whatever reason. So I'm not. I lean. If I were to vote for president right now, I would be voting for a libertarian.
Okay.
So that's not. I'm not with that at all.
Hmm.
My question for you, what is the political path? Forget about if I want reparations or not. It's irrelevant. I don't want money to go over to countries overseas for all kinds of wars. I'd rather it stay here, but they got the
Hmm.
power to do it. I'm Jewish, Native American, whatever, whoever, even the 9/11 responders who I'm grateful for. You don't get, if the government mess up, if we got reparations every time the government messed up, the
I wouldn't
government would,
call what the 9/11 first responders got reparations. They sued for that.
yeah, but I mean, to
So
me,
that's not reparations.
but
That
here's,
that would that would be more reclamation,
okay, but
reconciliation. I'm sorry.
here's how I'm lumping it all together. Maybe it's not fair, but the government messed up and I want money for that. If that's the case, then the government wouldn't exist other than to give money and dole it out. So here's my question for you, though. What is the
Hmm.
political, I don't see the political path, which I can help with or whatever I can do. I'm just a nobody in my basement, but the political path to getting reparations. Like, who are you going to get reparations from? How's that going to happen?
You get it from the government, but since these current politicians don't want to do it, then what we've been doing is getting our black grassroots candidates ready to take those seats.
I'm all
Now
for
they
it.
can identify as Democrat, Republican, Independent. If they're for reparations and for the betterment of the black community, we'll support them. We do policy over politician over here. We yes, Marcel is probably our most vocal, and I know a lot of people don't support a lot of what he does, but when it comes to reparations, he has full-fledged support. When it comes to anti-hate legislation for black Americans, he's got a whole lot of support. When he's talking about getting the land back that was stolen, he's got a whole lot of support. If your policies align with what black Americans and black first society is about, we're going to support you. If it's not, okay, have fun. You're going to have an uphill battle because as much as they don't want to admit it, they need the black vote, which is why you saw Biden say, I'm going to run again and I'm taking old Kamami with me.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. And I don't know if you were on Twitter, but a whole lot of black women were happy. I was like,
Mm.
great. If he can't stand on what he did for 2 years and try to tell y'all what he did, what are you gonna do? They're still gonna vote for him. But fine. They don't want Trump. We're in the era of anybody but Trump. Okay, fine. You want more of what's going on. I'm sorry. I want no wars and prosperity in 2019 again. I want that, but far be it from me because I got children and especially my wife and daughter, they have blood. Their family has blood in this soil. So, hey, I shouldn't fight for them. I should just blindly go vote for Biden because it's not Trump. But no, what
Yep.
the hell do I know?
So I think there is a connection that can be made, even though I would say 90%, 99% of MAGA, even though I do know some people who are very MAGA friendly who agree with reparations, but
Mm-hmm.
most are not. So, but here's the thing, I even said to support people because there are certain districts in this country you obviously would never get a Republican, or what MAGA's done is really kind of infiltrate the Republican Party. It's a separate political party. So like you
Mm-hmm.
said, like if you want reparations, you got to infiltrate either or Republicans or Democrats, basically, to have a chance. But so my thing is, we can actually agree on a lot before reparations. I would rather have Marcel Dixon than Jim Clyburn. I think 90% of MAGA would agree with that. If you had to choose between Jim Clyburn, who's just a corporate shill, trash politician, corrupt, openly disgusting politician, and a real person, let's just say yourself, so I don't always bring up Marcel. If you ran for Congress, just a little bit that I know and watched some of your videos, I would support you 100 times out of 100 over Jim Clyburn, even though we don't agree on reparations. Because I think there's a lot of other things we could work on. But here's the other thing other than reparations that would prevent that from happening. This anti-hate speech stuff. I don't care if it's Asian, Jewish, I don't care who it is, I'm not for it. And let me tell you this and get your comment on it. I've been leaning more libertarian. All that means is peace, the opportunity for prosperity, and decentralization, meaning big brother, stay away from me.
Mhm.
And I think one of the biggest mistakes that happened in our country is actually the civil rights era. Jim Crow, the problem with Jim Crow was the government doing the legislation. I actually think we should have we should be allowed to discriminate. But the person who should decide it is you and me, not Big Brother making laws in Mississippi or Alabama or wherever else. So let me know what you think. I think we need to be comfortable with the idea of, if you hate me because of my skin, or you hate me because my parents are Jamaican, or if you hate me because of my take, then fine. Is that too radical? What do you think about that?
No, that's not radical. I mean, everybody should be allowed to say what they want to say, but just understand the way that they set the world up. Everybody gonna have pushback. Everybody gonna have a counter to it, and their counter is gonna be louder than your actual statement. So you got to find a better way, or a more transient way of getting your message out, which is, like I said, what we do over here in New Black Media. We give you the information, we give you our opinion, and we let you decide how you want to move. We're just information givers, because again, our older generations didn't teach like we're teaching now. Some did, but a lot of them didn't, because they wanted to go along to get along. So that's why I think, again, with this reparations argument, I guess that's why it's a lot of people are feeling bad about it, and they have all these opinions about it, because they figured, okay, I'm not for this. Okay, that's it. Everybody's supposed to shut up. Nah, we were like, listen, we got documentation, we got proof. We gonna go get this. And either you support it or get out the way. And people can't handle that. It's like you remember how when we were growing up, our parents just told us no, we may whine, we get hit.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's you want something, they say no, you whine, y'all are having conversations, and then you eventually get it. That doesn't always work.
Here's what I agree completely. Here's what I propose is long term with, and I'm not knowledgeable on these different groups because I heard you talking about them, and I honestly don't know the intricate differences.
Which groups?
Like FBA and ADOS. So
Well, me being not of that, I can't really explain that.
okay,
They're for the same things. It's just they have different names and ways of going about it. But you have to ask someone like Tariq or somebody
yeah,
that's of that lineage what that is. Though,
mm,
I if you want, there's a guy named Beatzilla PDX. He's going live later. I'm going to be live with him later at 9:30 p.m. So it's 7:30 your time. He on the West Coast like you.
mm,
You can come in there and ask him. I'll ask him for you on your behalf, just so people can understand if people don't know what FBA and ADOS
yeah,
means.
yeah.
But
So these
yeah.
are these different groups, and they're for more than
They're not groups. They're
Oh, sorry.
lineages, not
Oh,
groups,
okay, okay.
not
So
groups.
yeah, you gotta have respect for that. So they're, for a lot of different things, but reparations is the stuff that, like you said, the algorithm bubbles up. But the reason I bring them up is like, I think we can come to you know what scares people is when people across the aisle come to the table and start saying, hey, let's start making chess moves. Even though we don't agree on reparations, I think along that path we can kind of come together and say, I don't like this corporate Republican. You think people who follow my channel like Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi? Hell no. And
Mm.
y'all don't either. So we can come to the table and say, wait a second. We both ain't feeling these people. In certain areas of this country, you have no chance of getting a person who wants reparation in that district in Montana or wherever it is. And in certain parts of the country, there's no chance of a MAGA person getting there. But if we kind of work together and be like, okay, I might not be for reparations, but let's replace these other people so we can work something out. I'm all for that. But what do you think? I still didn't understand your take on the hate, because we can't. That's a dividing line, and I think they put that in there to make sure we don't work together. Like you often say, "Hey, I'm doing this video," which is fair criticism to say, "Hey, you're doing this for white people." I'm not, but I think the criticism is fair. And Mark Robinson doing this for white people. But what do you think about this legislation about hate and all that? I think we just got to get comfortable about hate.
We you're right. We did get comfortable about it because hate sells. Us coming together it's not gonna move the needle for who's in control. Like if we just imagine if a whole bunch of us just said, "Hey, you know what? Screws George Soros. We got to get him out the paint." You know they're gonna shut us down really quickly. You know this. So we did it smart. We said, "Okay, y'all don't want to acknowledge this man. We gonna show you." I did a whole live stream and explained how he had 9 to 10 people set up around in prominent positions. If they would have got elected, then the damage they could have done. Most people said they didn't even know Stacey Abrams was getting money from him. And I said, if y'all vote her in, Georgia's done. That means black people in the South are done, because everybody knows Atlanta is the Mecca of the South. And how Atlanta goes, the rest of the South can go, especially in Texas. Atlanta, Texas, and Florida. You mess that triangle up for black people, it's over. So we made a concerted effort for 2 years to make sure that people got that information. And I like to think that we helped make that decision, what happened in Georgia. Now, Kemp ain't the greatest. He's not. But I'd rather him deal with him for 4 years and we set ourselves up than we have to try to set ourselves up in the face of Stacey. But like I said before, hate is gonna be there. Any opinion you got today, everybody, there's gonna be a counter somewhere.
Yeah,
So
but
the best we can do is just get people that are aligned with it, and we trade notes. But like you said, you're not for reparations, but you're for other things that Black Americans are looking for. Cool. But when you say I'm not for a major thing, you got to understand how that's going to come off, because then people are going to really start questioning you. Now, if you would have said, listen, I'm for everything. If you'd have started your video and said, listen, I'm for everything that FBA and ADOS and Black Americans want, but we're not going to agree on reparations, you might have got a different response. Just my opinion. You might have got a different response. You might have had more of a intellectual and positive dialogue, but you came out the gate and said, I ain't for reparations. Motherfuckers went, another one we got to go get. We had to get enough for like the last 3 years.
And I'm just to be clear, I have no problem with that. I think to cut through the noise, you have to be pretty blunt. You got to be pretty blunt. You got to be you have to bring something to the table. But the reason why I did that is I believe every word I said of that. But the reason why I did,
which is fine.
Yeah, but the reason why I did that is like the discussion we're having now.
Watch this. No, finish your thought.
Just to take reparations off the table, so we can kind of build in the area. Just take that off the table. I know people aren't going to go for that. They're not, but we can't come to the table until you take that off. Maybe there's something that MAGA or somebody else you say you got to take that off the table.
I want to challenge you on that. Mm-hmm. Marcel went to go talk to white people who weren't for reparations, and he turned them around.
I did. He used that in some of his campaign videos.
So, from what I've been seeing, white people don't understand it until you break it down to them. Because even Tariq went into a space where white women were trashing the hell out of reparations. He went in there for 15 minutes. They shut the space down in 5 minutes after he left. But watch this. Jack Johnson, you said you're not owed reparations. Great. You're not owed your life.
We gotta be we gotta be careful.
No, no, I'm being dead serious. You're not if you're gonna have that kind of sentiment, then I could say you're not owed your life.
But so my interpretation of that
You're not
isn't.
owed your existence.
But no, no. So here's the thing. I actually agree with that. I just don't want it to be coming across as a
No,
what we.
I'm not saying I'm not trying to be a dick.
Yeah,
I'm just saying when you say statements like that,
yeah.
somebody can counter and say, okay, well, you're not owed your American citizenship.
I
You're not owed a good life.
No, that's a fair point. That's a
I
fair
don't
point. I
yeah,
just didn't want it to
us in
come
new
across the
black
right.
media,
Hmm.
we don't do tit for tat. We not about that because most of them they roast the hell out of you.
Hmm.
We don't do that. Again, if you're for it, cool. If you're not, there's plenty of other things you can go talk about. Jack Johnson, you can go, now you're gonna threaten me. Have fun, sir. It's okay. It's okay. You're living in a nice house with your pickup truck. That's okay. It's fine. It's great. I'm giving you an opinion because you're on that man's channel. If you were on my channel, I would have blocked you already because you're not bringing
Yeah,
anything
let's.
constructive to the conversation. And in retrospect, you're making this man look bad because if somebody goes back and looks at this live chat, they're going to see your comment in there like this is the guy he's catering to. You're going to make him look bad.
Yeah, I
So,
wouldn't.
so if you have respect for this man's platform, either say something constructive or be quiet. And no,
But
I didn't threaten you, sir. That
no,
wasn't a
no,
threat.
yeah,
That
no,
was not a
Jack,
threat.
Jack. Let me.
That was a simile, sir. That was
Yeah,
a metaphor.
yeah. Let me. I don't because he's been having a respectful conversation the whole time. So this is so the way I took it. I actually don't take it as Jack. Don't take it as a threat like that because that's not how I took it. But I can I don't blame you for taking it that way. Here's what I think it is. I think he's right. We're not owed anything. I'm not owed anything. I'm very big
Well,
on the
that's not what I said. I said with
no,
him, if you're
yeah,
gonna say we're not owed, they're
yeah,
not
no,
owed reparations, you're not owed your life.
yeah. Nobody's
No, but
owed anything. I
well,
agree.
with reparations, they're owed because that was promised, and
No, well,
they're reneging on it.
yeah. Well, that's where we disagree on. But
That's
my
fine.
take is,
That's
yeah,
fine. But I'm just saying, there's proof there that they made the promise and they reneged on it because
yeah.
some shady shit. But
But that's a debate about power, and that's what I mean by you're not owed anything. Like I'm very big on the Constitution, Bill of Rights. It's a piece of paper. I ain't owed anything. If we aren't, we should have First Amendment rights. If we aren't willing to step up and fight for it, then we don't deserve it. So I do agree. There is nothing in life that's owed. I do not only touch that to reparations. I touch that to anything. You're not owed a job. You're not owed anything. You're not owed any of your rights. If somebody bigger, tougher, stronger than you comes and snatches it, it's gone. That's the law of nature.
hmm okay. So I think the final conclusion is you're not for reparations, but you're for other things to get Black America right.
Yeah, and the big thing is I don't view the world as Black America or not. I just look at a Black American no different than Asian, Indian, white, or whatever. I want the best, and I
Mhm,
see a lot of for those who do identify like that. I do
mhm,
see a lot of power, influence, cultural power, um, and I don't mean to say disrespectful, but potential to do a lot if it's channeled in a different way. So I just want to take reparations off the table so we can talk about the other things. If we come to the table, hypothetically, just say
mhm,
everybody, MAGA, libertarians,
mhm.
people who want for reparations, all the different reparations groups, lineage that wants it. If we all come to the table and we know y'all want reparations, and other groups want other things, but if we take that off the table for a second and talk about, okay, I'd rather you have power than somebody else, then we're talking.
Okay. Now, um, you do understand that they had that opportunity to talk about reparations. They had years to do this and they wanted to ignore it. So now they're at the point where they're going to have to talk about it, even at these negotiating tables with everything else. It's going to come up.
Yep, that's
They
fair.
made the media and these politicians made this monster of their own creation.
Yep, that's fair. I mean, you come to the table
Mhm.
and say, "Hey, that's the end goal,"
Right.
but there's a lot of steps to get there. Like you don't have any. Are there any representatives in Congress? Really, you should start with your local level. But are there any
Well, that's why we have these local Like
Mhm.
even down here, Fulton County, they have a reparations task force. Detroit starting theirs. We could mention California, but that's state. But they're starting to be activated.
Yeah. As long as they're keeping big corporation money out. But is there anybody in DC, like a House
Mhm.
representative, or
House representative, I ain't sure yet. I'm
I don't
not
think
sure.
there's.
I haven't looked at anybody.
They're all
I'm
fake.
not even gonna count. I'm not even gonna count them buck dancers over in the CDC. I'm not even gonna count them.
Yeah, no. Oh
But
gosh, no. They're
but
corporate as
I
hell.
do
They're
know
fake. Yeah.
I do know of a couple people that live in DC in the DMV area, and they go to these reparation task force, and they do talk to lobbyists and legislatures. So
Yeah.
they're there. So the information is there. But I'm going to do something. Do you mind talking to people?
Who, me? I have
Yes.
no problem talking to
All right,
anybody.
say
Yeah.
less, because I know your crowd got a lot to say. So what I'm going to do is put that in the chat, and you can do that as
I
well.
I haven't been able to track it. Hopefully everybody's respectful. This we
No,
come.
I mean, I'm listen. They could come in and say whatever they want. Cause see here, I do appreciate free speech. Just know that I'm gonna come back on
Oh,
you.
for sure, for sure.
Cause y'all bark, I'm gonna bark back. That's how my dad raised me. I'm Jamaican. I don't fuck around like that.
Absolutely.
But I sent you the link in the back channel so you can put it in your chat for your
Mhm.
people. But anybody want to come up and ask him questions, please. If you gonna roast him, don't cuss. Don't do that. Have a conversation. Let's show him how new black media is, because I am representing them right now, and I don't want them to have a false idea of what we are. We actually want to converse and have conversation. So if you like to come up, just click the link. Maybe you know what? Let me pin it. Where is it? Damn, y'all be talking too much. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I pinned it, and I'm gonna pin it on the normal page. You want to come up and talk? Go ahead. If not, cool. Just don't. If y'all gonna roast, roast, but keep it respectful. Wait, what am I saying? You can't roast respectfully. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can kind of maybe.
Well, I'm talking. You know what? These are Black Americans. They could do it really nice. They can do it really nicely.
What do you think about the diversity question? Let me tell you what I mean here is, like, people say B1, and my understanding is just means black first. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if it's black first,
Mm-hmm.
why does it? So what? How do you define if someone's black? Is Candace Owens B1?
No, she should
So
be, but she doesn't want to be.
okay,
Black first means that whatever you do politically, economically, socially, or whatever, it should be for the betterment of your family and the black community. That's what we mean by B1. B1 is a code.
I know, but I'm still confused. So if say I'm B1,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm taking that like, okay, I'm black first. Doesn't
Right.
matter what you believe. Even if I disagree with you, I'm black first. Why isn't that the case? We know Candace Owens wouldn't rep that. I wouldn't rep that because I don't like the identity stuff. But if you are a B1, why wouldn't you say Mark Robinson is black? So let me respect
Because
him on that level.
we respect the fact that you say it, but if your ideologies and your thoughts do not align with the betterment of black people, we're gonna look at you like you're hindering what we're trying to build. Because a lot of people think that we have these so-called leaders. We have no leaders when it comes to
Mhm.
B1. We have no leaders. The code is the leader. How we move is we're basically means we're responsible for ourselves. We're not a group, not a lineage. We're just like-minded people that want to see the black community rise up to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can coexist. I still don't like the mentality because to me, if I were to rep B1, I would say Candace Owens, Nicole Hannah Jones. I've gone back and forth with her.
Again, those two can't be B1 because what they do on their platforms are not for the betterment of black people. They're especially with Candace. She's doing things to appease a white audience because she literally sat with DJ Academics and basically said no reparations. Even though she's from the Virgin Islands, she has a claim against the Dutch. She won't go after it. She won't talk about it. And now she's getting her wake up calls because she's going through this thing with the Daily Wire and all this. And she doesn't really have black support like that. She only has support from people that hate Steven Crowder. Now, if she was B1, we would be standing with her like people did when she initially came on the scene with that racism thing at her college. And then she shifted. And for whatever reason, she thought that was the great move. Okay, cool. Do your thing. She's not going to rep B1 ever in life, and we're not going to endorse her. She could say whatever she wants that we want to hear. We're like, that's great. You go handle your life. Have fun. And the only thing we're going to say is we don't want no harm to befall to you. That's it. But you
Yes.
stay where you want to be on that side of the fence. Cool. Don't jump back over here. Because you're especially she really disqualified herself when she said that she basically gave Chauvin a pass for taking out George Floyd. She was on the blacklist after that. You don't do that. And she knew she was wrong because she took down the live stream. She knew she was wrong. So yeah, but I got some people up here. So let's start with Leonard. Leonard, go ahead.
What's up?
What's going on?
What's up?
I saw something initially. It was like BADO something something.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Black American descendants of chattel slavery.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. Black American descendants of chattel slavery.
The
Yeah, direct
chattel
descendants.
slavery.
Yes, chattel slavery. Yes.
Okay. Another term. That's
a term I made up.
okay. That's another term then, because you got
Mhm.
ADOS, which is African. American descendants of slavery.
Mhm.
You've got that. Then you've got FBAs, which is
Freedmen.
blacks who family bloodline goes all the way back to Emancipation Proclamation, if not before, right? You got those. Then you have all these other people that appear to be Black American, but their doggone family bloodline does not support them being FBA, which entitles people to reparations for slavery in the United States. It's all over the place. I just look at it and it's like, okay, I'm just glad, I know my whole family history all the way back, and I don't come from, I'm one that would not be entitled to reparations if they were issued out.
Okay.
And I
Good.
wish that reparations would be issued. I really do. With one little hidden thing behind it. Give all that money out. Bam. Okay. That'd be one less thing for folks to complain about. Because it's 2023 and people are still doggone complaining they can't get what they want or where they want to be or whatever it is due to oppression, supremacy, this, that, the third, the da, the do, the da, the da, the da, the da. I'm like, okay, all that sounds cute. But then when you have those who have reached where they want to be in life, and they're not doggone a basketball player or a rapper or something along them lines, they're just a regular working class American that did not spend outside of their means, lived a modest life. Now they're kicking back. They're good. Black folk act like it can't be done because of white folk. I haven't seen it. All I've seen is a bunch of people from the ghetto left, right, to pursue a better life that was lazy on that Faruka from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that 1971 movie. But Dad, I want it now. It's 2023. If somebody don't got what they feel they deserve, that's on them. And that's just me talking.
That's fine. Well, that just goes to support what they're fighting for.
What, fighting for what?
They're fighting for what they are owed.
Okay, owed reparations. They already did a dollar figure number on it. It's $325,000 per person, is it not?
No, that's Dr. Phil's number. That's
okay, well, what's the
number.
actual number?
I couldn't answer that. You have to ask one of them.
Okay.
I'm not of the soil, so I can't speak for them. You have
Okay,
to talk to
okay,
them.
okay. I feel you because I was like, you know,
And that was goes to the other point I was making earlier. You having too many people with negative opinions on it, which is fine. You guys can talk about it, but when you start inserting specifics into it, it gums up the works.
yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of
That's what,
things that
right,
are going on that need to.
right.
You
Because
got
you were in the
grand.
military. How would you like it if a whole bunch of people were saying if you guys got hurt in a war and they're online or on TV telling you how much you should get? I don't think the military veterans would like that too much. You have citizens trying to legislate what kind of compensation you guys are entitled to. I think that would be messed up.
Well, that would be citizens that you're talking about. Citizens
That
outside.
never that were not over there. They didn't fire off one
Who do
bullet, but
you?
they
Who do you? Okay, who do you think sets up what we should get? War
no,
veterans?
but that should be between you guys and the politicians because they're the ones that are going to give you the money. It shouldn't be. I shouldn't go on TV and listen to the View try to say, "Oh, Mr. Leonard Roy, he got his leg shot off. I think he's only entitled to 10 grand." Do you know what this man did for you to say that? Nah, he needs to go settle that with the government. You shouldn't be interjecting yourself into a conversation like that. This is
Yeah,
what I'm
well,
saying with the Black Americans. That's
that's
between them and the government.
right. That's those people and the representatives that were put in place that shouldn't have been put in place. Because I run across this all the time, in conversation. Say, okay, you got the all black, all Democrat, Black Congressional Caucus, started in 1971, Shirley Chisholm, who incidentally was the first Black person to run for president in 1972. What have they done for the constituency that voted for them and put them in office? What have they done?
Well, again, that's why we're changing it right now.
Yeah, then the first thing I get, see, in Congress, they won't let them do. It's always a somebody. It's always a somebody in the way. No.
Well, we don't say somebody anymore. We're like, okay, you don't want to support what we're talking. Okay, we're going to make sure you don't get voted, and we've done that. You guys saw it during the midterms. We knocked a lot of people off because they didn't want to support what Black people did. They want to go for everybody else except Black people with the most grievances. Okay, you're going to see it again unless y'all come to the table and say, what do y'all need? And they know what they need.
Okay, if that's the case, in Georgia at least, what's his name? Wanzak, whatever his name is. I didn't vote for him. Warnock. There we go. Had to think about it. If that's the case, then Warnock shouldn't have doggone got reelected because he was asked a direct question.
Yeah, but again, that they
remember
they put
I know you remember that.
Yeah, but they put a Walker. They didn't have a shot.
Yeah, I couldn't show up because I had my grandchildren with me.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna give you one more minute to just give your final.
Okay.
I got a lot of people.
I had my grandchildren with me, and it was something political. I didn't want to put them in any type of risk situation because you know how things can get violent. That's the only reason that I wasn't there supporting the brother that was there, asking him direct questions, and the sister gonna jump her doggone need to be in Planet Fitness self up there talking and talking. And it's like he wasn't talking to you, he was talking to that man. Mm-hmm. See, she was out of pocket. I know you remember the situation I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I think it's one of your videos, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
That's what brought me to this channel, that particular channel holder. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate your comments.
Appreciate you.
And, all right, bro. Just wanted to throw some stuff out there. Just food for thought.
Yes, sir. Stay safe out there.
All right. Deuces.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next person up, Maxwell Jenkins. Maxwell, hello.
B1, everybody.
B1.
Yeah. To the topic, my mines will be quick. I just don't agree with the dude, the middle MAGA dude. You know, how can you take reparations off the table and then we can talk? No, the whole conversation is about reparations. I'm FBA. I'm from the soil. I want them to cut the check. I want to talk about nothing else. Cut the check. Then we can talk. You know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, maybe I should rethink that. We're not going to be able to come to agreement if reparations is the discussion. So that, I mean, it just won't happen. But but the reason why I brought that up is there's a lot of things that we might agree on to get you potentially to the point. And what I mean by that is how many members of the House are really for reparations. Right now we have 0. None of them. They'll talk about it. They're all fake. So MAGA, the party that's like MAGA, maybe there's about 5 people in the House. They're making some moves. And my case to MAGA is we can make moves on First Amendment, Second Amendment, other things with people that agree with reparations like yourself. And maybe you end up getting, I'm talking about, this is going to take generations. This ain't happening quick. 60 years down the road, you get 100 people in the House. MAGA has 100, however many people in the House that are for these things, and maybe it could happen.
Me, myself, I don't even think you should be discussing anything about FBA, period.
Why is that?
Unless you are FBA.
But,
and if you're not FBA, you should be an ally like Kid Gravity. You know what I'm saying? Sit back, let us do what we do, and back our play.
See, you see what that is? If I could reply, that's the entitlement. How do you think?
Wait, hold on. Wait, excuse me. Entitlement. This is my country. What do you mean entitlement? Yes, I'm entitled. This is my country. My people fought to get you here. So yes, there is a level of entitlement. There is a level of national pride. We built the country. Yes. So if you want to call it entitlement, but I just call it, this is my country. That's what we call it.
And I think the FBA, they're the most patriotic of the groups, if I may say. I'm not an expert.
Lineages.
Sorry, lineage.
Not a group.
They
gonna
come in my video.
I know, my bad. That's not on him. I don't know the groups. I don't know.
TV gonna get.
We're not. Hold on. FBA is not a group. We're a lineage, an ethnicity.
Right. No, I just corrected him.
No disrespect intended.
Oh, I'm not getting at you in any funny way, Kid, and I'm not even getting on him badly. I'm just saying we're not a group. We are a lineage.
Yes, but here's the problem is the path.
Yes, Jack Johnson, just like most of y'all white groups over there. Yes.
Yeah, yes. I think that's fair.
If you want to go there. Yes. Should we talk about the Oath Keepers, the 3%ers? Should we talk about, the Klan? Should we do that?
But even if we want to call it cults, they're all cults. I agree you have to do it across the board, but I don't want to call it a cult. Lineage. So here's my thing, though. How do you get reparations? You would have to get a law passed through Congress, and we all have representatives in D.C. So how are you going to tell me that I can't speak on it? I think we can speak on a lot of things. I think
he said when it comes to reparations now has become a lexicon. It's in the lexicon.
But anybody can speak on it, though.
Right. With reparations, in respect to reparations, yes.
Now, you don't have to respect my opinion, but we can speak on it.
Right. Understandably. But what Maxwell is saying is when it comes to the other things with FBA and ADOS and that stuff, you like what I do when like my man Beatzilla and Black Alpha have their Twitter spaces, I just go in there and listen unless I can contribute something to it. I think what the problem is, and this is something I also said earlier, y'all can talk about reparations all you want. That's fine. If you're for it or against it, we need to know where everybody stands on it. But then when you start going into specific lineages, what they should do or what they don't do, or you have critiques there, you're going to get pushback. Just like you and I can't have a conversation about the AAPI. They're going to come for us.
Yeah.
We're not them.
Just like I would not go to Jamaica and try to influence their politics. I would go and listen and figure out what's going on. And
if they can suggest something, then that's cool.
Yeah. But I'm American, though. I don't know why.
If my opinion is asked for, I will interject if I were in the diaspora or in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Before you go, man.
Jack Johnson, great. Thank you for coming. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, I appreciate you being respectful. There's a little pushback. But here's on a positive note. One thing that rubbed me the wrong way is the Ice Cube. It was a contract for Black America. Mm-hmm. He was coming out with that. He got flack. My big take is you've got the different lineages, and to me, they don't seem to work together.
Well,
And if you
that's more of an
Well,
ideological thing. They can go correct that, but when it came to contrary to Black America, there was a whole lot of Black Americans that were on his side, and
I
we
thought it
rode
was a
for him.
great idea.
Yeah, it was a great
oh
idea,
yeah,
and
I
we
agree.
rode for him on that, and we
I
had to go.
agree.
We helped field all the BS that everybody was coming with, and I ain't gonna lie, I thank God for the contract for Black America, because not only did it show us a framework where we can go get them their money, but it also showed who our opponents are, and we know it's the corporate Black media. So
See, we agree.
thank you. So I said thank you on that.
Yeah.
But again, to highlight what Maxwell was saying, we can talk about reparations as non-FBA. That's fine, because again, they need to know who is for it and who's against it. But when you start talking about specifically their lineages, you gonna get videos like what I did, or you're gonna get videos like someone like Mouthy Megan would do here on YouTube, and it's not gonna be kind, because now you're overstepping. Like you and I are Jamaican, sir. You okay? Could you
Well, just to
go?
be clear,
Could you
I was
go to your?
born here.
No, that's fine. But you said
Okay.
your lineage was
Yeah,
Jamaica.
yeah.
I'm sure if you asked your parents how they grew up there, they would not like it if somebody that didn't live around them tried to tell them how to raise you.
Yeah, I can say you
Right.
don't have to like it, but
Right.
when you
But
talk
they would
about
look at that person sideways. Now, Miss
Mhm.
Dorothy next door, who intimately knows them,
Mhm.
and depending on where you live at in Jamaica, has the carte blanche. If you screw up in school, they're gonna whoop your ass. She can talk about it, but she ain't gonna talk about it 100%.
Mhm.
She's gonna wait for the okay from your parents. Now,
Mhm.
if FBA invites you in and lets you have the platform, respect it. But don't do it unsolicited. That's all they're saying, because then that's when they have the problem. And then you start seeing them going with the videos on Jamaica, and then I got to sit up there and I got to put my head down, because goddamn, he ain't wrong. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna say it. I'm gonna let another tether say it. I'm gonna let him
Be
say
nice.
it.
Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, we let him do it. But that's all they're saying. That's all they're
So
saying.
before we let Maxwell go, there's no
Yes.
chance. Let me rephrase what I said. Take reparations off the table, because it's obviously a huge thing. Can we get to the table and talk about other things than reparations? Is that even possible?
The thing with us is reparations will solve a lot of those issues.
Right, which is what I told you earlier.
So that's the
Osiris.
vicious cycle we can't break. And I
It's
don't
not a
think you can.
cycle. It's not a cycle. It's just something we have to push and fight for. We fought out of slavery. We fought to get Jim Crow at least suppressed on the law books. We fought for everything. We're FBA. We'll fight for it. We're not going to wait too long either.
Yeah, like I said to you earlier, once they get their reparations, you think they're gonna have these kids in these public schools no more? No, they're gonna
No,
start their
no.
own schools.
Hmm.
Not take as long as Omar did, but they're gonna be there. Their schools are gonna pop up. They're gonna get these farmlands rubbed, because they putting stuff in the food. They're gonna correct their own problems. But the real issue with this reparations argument is white America, because we're just going to call it what it is. White America cannot handle having a competing economy on their shores, for one. And number two, they will never admit that they benefited off of slavery. That's the main reason why they don't want to give them reparations, because they're going to have to admit that, especially with Washington, D.C. and its construction, they benefited off of it. Because if you didn't benefit off of it, why would you pay the slave masters after the slaves were emancipated? You should have just said, hey, we signed the legislation. You go do what it do. Okay, you out of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Y'all white, y'all can figure it out. Come to us. We'll give you some legislation to build you back up.
See, to
They
me,
gave them $300 per slave that they released.
Yep. But here, to me, this is the cycle that I'm talking about. Is that we can't, if you want to talk about Black America, can't start our own schools and do these different things without.
Well, I didn't say that they couldn't
Okay.
start it. I said that you would see more. You would see more popping up, because we have the Black schools, but reparations, you're going to see more. You're going to see them fund their own educations. They're going to put their history in there. Yes, they're going to mix it with everything else, but these kids are going to know where they come from.
So this is where I look at, and I hope nobody takes it the wrong way, but you look at, just generally speaking, Jewish people and their push to get whatever they want. Every group is trying to push stuff. They had power first, then they went and used it. And my take is,
they were given power. Remember that. They were given power.
yeah. However that happened. So my take is, with reparations, it's the same thing. You got to find a way to get power before. Right now, what I see is you're trying to.
Right. Go ahead. Finish.
Well, we're just real quick. You're trying to wield power, political power that you don't have. Is my.
But again, that's what I told you. We have the power. It's just not. It's not frontal like a lot of people think it is. They silence us. You know this. You and I were on YouTube talking like this. They don't highlight this.
No. Yeah.
Right.
But see,
One question.
So my thing is this. My thing is this. I told you before, 30% of black kids are not in these public schools. That's power.
Agreed.
It's not vocalized. We knocked off politicians. We scared the hell out of politicians. Do you understand? Jason Black went to go see Clyburn. That clip went viral. Tariq started a rally. Yeah, at
the barbecue one.
Yes.
Oh, that was crazy.
Right. Tariq organized a rally in 3 weeks in DC. That got worldwide coverage.
Yeah, much respect.
Right. The problem with a lot of these groups, they do it one way. But with Black America, they're so, I guess the word is, they're so remixable. They're going to do it another way that you ain't going to expect it. And then when it gains traction, then everybody now wants to say, damn, we should have did it that way. So that's the issue there, because again, even with the rally, 3 weeks, over 3,000 people there. If it didn't matter, why were a whole bunch of other groups out there at the same time, either protesting what they want or going against what they were standing for? If it was insignificant, if black voices are insignificant, it wouldn't make sense. But go ahead, Maxwell, and then I'm going to let you go.
Yes, sir. I was going to say I have to go. I'm on the clock. Sending my car for my break. But I was going to say,
if you need a note for your boss, I got you.
Yeah, I'm a boss. I'm a boss myself. Okay. I'm a boss myself, but I am on the clock. I'm not going to lie. But what I was going to say is we've moved the lexicon historically without said political power all the time. We've made things happen. We make $1 out of 15 cents. We've gotten this far without our reparations. You know what I'm saying? We've done things without political power in the front view. We're going to get our reparations. We're going to make it happen. We just want to know which side you stand on. Are you an enemy or are you an ally?
Right, because you guys don't want to be surprised when it gets closer.
I respect that. Thank you, Maxwell.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you guys have a good day. Be one to y'all.
Yeah, and make that money.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. My man Blacklight Revelations, he does good content on here. I think he's a mod. Put your link in there. He had a question for you. He said, ask him to explain the conservative support or no support of the contract for Black America. I want to hear his explanations on both sides of the argument.
I'm not happy about it. I challenge MAGA. I haven't done it in a while. My channel actually started talking about a contract with Black America, believe it or not. There's a lot in there that I think MAGA would agree with. I mean, there's very simple stuff like, I haven't read it in a while, but traffic stops, like a no contact traffic stop idea where the cop, I don't know if the cop even needs to pull you over. It's just all done electronically to avoid, because one of the
they're doing that in New York now.
Oh, are they doing that?
Yeah, they have a. You ever saw Too Fast, Too Furious?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You remember when they were chasing Brian after the first race and they launched that harpoon?
Yeah. Yeah.
They got something like that. It's it's a little magnetic bullet.
Really?
Bullet. Yeah. And so you don't chase them and it just follows you everywhere, get your information. They come get you later.
Wow. Word. Okay. So, I mean, my point there is I'd have to re-look at it, but there was a lot of things. I actually have videos way back on my channel on this where we obviously the reparations, we're not going to agree on it because there was some, but it was so well laid out and written. We need a respectful kind of discussion like that. But there was a they talked about entertainment, they talked about policing and education, and there's a lot we can agree on. So my take is, let's present it to the table, and I would challenge MAGA, Liberty, whoever, to look at it and say, okay, maybe you're not for reparations, but let's start with these things where we agree on.
Mm-hmm. So you said you had a problem with it.
With what?
You said you had a problem with it.
Well, I have a problem with MAGA not
supporting it.
Yeah, not bringing it up.
But like, do you expect? But it's like what I had a problem with Trump when he brought the platinum plan. I'm like, why are you bringing it 6 weeks before the election?
I agree completely. I was like, that's too disingenuous. I have a video on that. Right. Like, come on, bro. That's not. We're not falling for that.
But we know MAGA don't want. Again, I think a lot of MAGA does not want black people to ascend. That's the problem.
But see, so here's the disconnect. It's a different worldview. You could sum up MAGA in God, family, country. There's no race. So most people who are with MAGA, you have people, even Candace Owens and Officer Tatum. This is an Officer Tatum hat.
Lord.
They're identitarian. You don't like him. I didn't mean to.
Oh Lord,
that's my dude.
No, he is this.
Oh, no, dude,
no, we don't bring him up. No, brother, we don't bring him up. No, he is persona non grata. Boo this man. He gets no love on this side. No. You cannot sit there. No, he justified Tyree Nichols getting beat by saying all the cops should not get arrested. No.
Yeah, so I agree with them on a lot of the different police interactions. Even if you have a concern with the police, I don't understand why we're not talking about. You were talking about is it Jalen Walker from was it Akron?
Yes.
So I understand, got concerns about the police, fine. But when I talk to my two sons about the police shootings, I'm going to tell them we don't run from the police. When you run from the police, your life is in serious danger. I don't care.
That didn't justify them.
I'm not saying it does. But he got shot up, and where is he now?
We're not going to do that.
No. That's not. No. We are going to do that. That's not to be disrespectful. My bro's gone. So no. That's not to be disrespectful.
No, finish your statements.
No. That's a fact. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. He's gone. So I have my two sons. They run from the police and then they're gone. And then after they're gone, I can go march down the street about the police. Why did you run? We fight this in the courts. Your life is number one. I don't care if the police are right or wrong. You need to make sure. I can't snap my fingers and remove police. And what would society even look like? We have to be strong men and teach these children, hey, it's okay to fight something in the court. I'd rather do that than you be gone.
Yeah, but you got to understand. Yes, we can teach our kids this, but you got to understand a lot of us are tired of having that conversation.
No, I don't care.
We're tired because all these other groups don't have to have this conversation.
What does that matter?
It does matter because we already know how the cops look at us.
I don't care.
You gotta care, brother. Because
I'm fine with having.
It's not fair that other groups they don't have to have them conversations. They get to say tend to make sure you have your information out. We got to sit up there. You're like, you better look for it. Don't put any bass in your voice. We got to have all these caveats with the police. It should not be like that.
Life ain't fair.
It's not fair, but there's no reason why when it's with them cops, we always get the extreme cops. We always get the extreme circumstances.
I wouldn't have a problem with questioning the cops if I heard an equal response to, hey, Jalen, what you got a ski mask on? What are you doing, bro? You running from
him turning around, nothing in his hand, justified 94 shots.
Absolutely.
The gun was in the car.
Of course it does.
The gun was in the car.
Life is a series of decisions. So what was he running from? What?
No, go ahead.
What was he running from? Why did he have a ski mask? We saw on video a flash come from the car. Was it a gun or not? I don't know. Did they find the gun? I don't know.
Yeah, the gun was in the car.
Okay, the cop. What are the cops supposed to do? Sir, do you have the gun on you or not? No. Why are you running? So, and I'm not saying that we can talk about policing, but we've got to talk. We owe it
Well,
to
I have
our.
a solution for that, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh, okay. Well, we can start. What's your solution?
Neighborhood watch. That we handle our own problems, because obviously these cops don't know how to. They don't know how to interact with us.
So you know what that is? That is a libertarian take, and I 100% agree with you on it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
Like I said, us black folks, we're socially conservative, and yes, some of us do have libertarian views, but when it comes to these police, nah, they do too much. So I said, what we should do, if contract with Black America would have went through, we take some of them billions, start these neighborhood watches. We, just like them Jews and them Arabs do, they handle their own problems unless it's too extreme. We can let us handle the DVs, the assaults, people having disagreements. We'll handle that. If it goes to levels where we're talking felonies, all right, we'll have our own social workers, we'll have our own lawyers on deck. You call that lawyer up, you surrender to him or her, and let them deal with the cops. Because it's quite apparent that these cops, they're out there. I'm not going to use the H word, but they out there when it comes to us. They're given a different playbook, and we got to end that.
That could be true. I don't know what was in the heads of those cops, but this is a great example of something. So when you come out, not you, but when people come out and they march down the street talking about Black Lives Matter and F the police and all that, and I used to listen to songs and talk about that all the time back in the day. But that clouds the conversation from what you just said right there. I think, I don't know. Tell me if you're from my channel in the chat. Would you agree with that or not? That's decentralization. The government shouldn't monopolize the power of policing. Absolutely not. And you know what rich people are doing in some of these areas? They're hiring their own private security. That's the same thing as the neighborhood watch. So I agree completely.
All right. We got another guest on deck. Sister Sean, go ahead. I want those glasses, by the way.
Dope.
Can you see me? Oh, I had to just jump on Kid Gravity. I generally don't kind of pipe in and show my face, but I just want to, I kind of literally got the last 15 minutes of this conversation, but I just wanted to remind the atmosphere, right? And I don't know, middle MAGA, I don't know who you are, but here's what we need to stay focused on. We need to stay focused on the fact that reparations is about unpaid labor. It's not a program and it's not a handout. So we need to be focused on what this really is, and we need to keep the main thing about the main thing. So we have a lot of different counter arguments. You know, oh, it was so long ago, it wasn't me. Yeah, it was you. It was you, and a lot of the things that we've done and a lot of the headways and the doors we knocked down, it was for you. And that goes for an immigrant, and that also goes for the white American with the Homestead Act, and also the land grant colleges, where we literally taught white folks after the Civil War. We gave all the money back to the oppressor. All right. And it's not just an oppressor, it's somebody that literally tried to overthrow the government. And I don't want to hear anything about, and the reason why I'm coming on, there's this mess about the white people are owed reparations. No, you're not. And here's why: because you would have lost the damn Civil War. You didn't even want to bring blacks into the war until your ass was fucking losing. And so what we did was we came in and helped you, the North, kick the South's ass. So that's number one. So we're going to put that to bed. And the next thing that we're going to put to bed is that, no, you weren't sitting up here with open arms and all warm and fuzzy for black folks to be freed. You wanted to preserve the Union, and you wanted to preserve your money, and you want to preserve the wealth. And you were jealous of the South because the South continued to get wealth through slave labor, and you weren't participating. And so it was an economic thing. It had absolutely nothing to do with the slaves. And Abraham Lincoln said it himself. He said that if I could preserve the Union without freeing the slaves, he would do it. Don't fall for the okadoke. These people are treasonous. That Confederate flag is treasonous. That is a symbol of trying to overthrow this government. So the liberals are just as guilty. Why would you reward people who are trying to overthrow your government? So that's bullshit item number one. And I don't want to hear the argument about it's too long ago. No, it's not too long ago. So if it's too goddamn long ago, let's just throw away the goddamn Constitution.
That's fair.
It's too fucking long ago, so we're not even going to adhere to it. Don't let them play them games with us. It ain't too long ago to throw away the damn Constitution, the 13th, 14th, to 15th Amendment. So don't you tell me that we need to throw away our claim, our reparations claim for unpaid labor. You can go sit. The third thing, let's bring it to modern times. There's a lot of confusion. What is systematic racism? Systematic racism is right now in this country, we're offering the Ukrainians Social Security benefits.
Preach.
Social Security benefits that Black folks has paid into who can't even get. That your mama, your grandmama, and your great-great-grandmama paid into. Let's get into the history of Social Security benefits. Social Security benefits were denied to Black people, to the descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. It was under the Agricultural Act. So we literally had to pay all this Social Security benefits that we never got. We literally had to fight just to get Social Security. So you're going to bring a set of people here, some immigrants, to get some social, these Ukrainians who are Nazis?
I agree.
Man, stop playing with us. And so we're not having it. So you can sit up here and you're going to bring, and then we got some Black dude, some double boot licking, sucking lieutenant governor from somewhere talking against reparations. We got this field guide, Oprah's bootlick, talking against reparations, and a plethora of them. They ain't all on my mind right now. I can't really get it, but forget about them. Okay, MAGA need to, okay, I don't give a damn what the hell you call yourself. I just need to know what you're going to do for Black folk. So you've got that one dude that just came out. He's lieutenant governor trying to run against reparations. All that is that they understand. Here's what I need everybody to understand. We are the economy. I'm going to repeat it. Black folks, the descendants of U.S. chattel slavery, we are the economy. That's why they have to put us in the mix of everything that we're doing. These damn lieutenant governor, then we got this Indian dude out here acting like a fucking fool and talking all crazy out his damn neck. They cannot win unless they denigrate us. We've got to understand that. So we've got to flip that. And we've got to understand that, no, I hope that we're getting it. They are not our friends. They are here to compete. That is what Dr. Claude Anderson has been teaching us for 20 years. So now you're seeing it. So MAGA, as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a damn. MAGA, what you going to do for me? I don't care if you're MAGA. I don't care what you are. But if you don't have a Black agenda, and if you're not serious about that agenda, and if you're not serious about any type of repair, reform, or recovery for our people, then we ain't got nothing for you. No votes, no nothing. And on top of that, the next step is you sitting up here playing games with all these countries. Your ass gonna be in another motherfucking war. And I'm gonna tell you something. You gonna come for Sister Sean because you ain't getting my son. My son ain't fighting on no more of your motherfucking wars. Because you ain't did shit for the Black man, and to go down to my son. You ain't did a motherfucking thing. And I'm not lifting that one goddamn bullet for you, and neither is my son. You better come for a bullet for me, because I'll fight you if you come take my son. I'm not fighting any more of your wars. And you sitting up here letting this damn Spanish dude last week, the Luginus or whoever the hell he is, on MSNBC talk about he built the country and the damn Mexicans is the oldest people. Let's get the fuck out of here. So MAGA, you need to get your shit straight, and you need to get the Black vote. So if you really want something, you really at a prime time. And you're not going to sit up here giving us no idle fucking promises. We want tangibles. And I'm done. Thank you, kid. Thank you for the time.
That was fire. That was fire. Your mic is on mute, I think. What's up, kid?
All right, thank you for the time.
I can't. Mike, can you hear me, kid? Mike's on mute. Can everybody hear me? Oh,
maybe that's why she couldn't hear me.
Okay.
Yeah. When Sister Sean get going, you don't stop her.
That was fire.
That's a train. But Jack Johnson, boy, I'm gonna be nice.
But wait, before we go to Jack, but she does. You probably. That's my first time ever hearing her. That was fire right there.
Yeah, she's usually in Twitter Spaces with
Okay.
Beatle and Black Alpha and some other people. When she get to going, she can't stop.
But can I? Yeah,
Yeah.
just I agree with a lot of what she said, and it doesn't matter that I'm against reparations.
Right.
I don't use the argument that it's so long. That is not my argument. My argument is nothing is owed. I don't think that should be a goal. But if you want to get it, go get it. And do you know how much of what she said that MAGA would agree with? Let's start at the
Yeah.
end. She's anti-war.
Right, but here's the thing with MAGA.
But she's anti-war. MAGA's anti-war.
No. I understand that, but we also got to understand is. I'm sorry, bro, but MAGA has demonstrated that they're not gonna be holy for Black people unless they get something out of it. That's a lot of the problem what we have with these politicians, especially with that Emmett Till bill. They didn't pass it because it was Afrocentric. When it became
That's
people of color,
What do we need the Emmett Till bill for?
No, it was to stop Black folks from getting killed mercilessly. They failed it. They failed it. When they started putting people of color and other groups into it, then they passed
That's
it.
an okie doke, man. They putting wool over our eyes. We don't need a law.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
But the general point is when it's Black specific, there's a problem.
See, that's
when they start adding other groups into it.
Yeah, let me ask you.
Then they'll pass it because we saw what happened with AAPI. They labeled it the C-19 bill.
I do not agree.
Right.
Let's just be clear.
Right, but that's specifically for them.
The Biden executive order.
Right. He 2 weeks.
Oh,
2
that
weeks.
was one of the first things he did. Crazy.
Exactly. Right. That's what we're saying. You're saying that we had your back, and I'm gonna have your
that was
back.
So disrespectful.
Right. And then in the first 100 days, you do that for them Asians when you literally had Black people tell you we need this.
And they won the election for them.
Right. And that consistent slap in the face. That's where people get upset at. And that's why they're like that. And Jack Johnson, we've told Biden this. He don't want to listen. Cool. He ain't going to win next year. So there you go. So if Biden's your boy, have fun. For us, I think I speak for everybody when we talk about Biden.
Insult to my existence.
I mean,
how come you not love Knight Rider clips? I love that.
Yes, but go ahead. You were speaking.
Well, I was going to ask you a question. So how do we, because here's the MAGA, I don't speak for MAGA, but my interpretation, I've actually changed MAGA to make it whatever I want it to be.
I wouldn't call it MAGA. They're going to get mad at you next year. I'm telling you, bro, they're going to come for you.
Who, MAGA will?
Yes.
I don't get, they can. I come for MAGA too. I came at Trump
what
yesterday.
I'm saying is this is the thing, and this is what we also preach over here in New Black Media. When you say what they like, they're cool with you. I always tell these people as well, go on your platform and say something white people don't like or some other group don't like and see if they're going to have a healthy discourse with you. Ain't going to happen.
Well, we'll see. I'm not going to change my take. I'm not making any money out of this. I'm not going to change
we go. See?
Stop the cap. But is he right? No, but Jack Johnson has a
all vote Democrat. How did Trump become the winningest Republican? How come he got the most votes of any Republican candidate in history? If we all voted for it.
You're talking about 2016
or 2020? How did that happen if we all vote Democrat? How did Biden how did Hillary only get 82% of the vote, sir? How did Biden only get about 85? How? Huh?
True, but they're still overwhelmingly.
It's still overwhelming. We got to fix.
But you have a point. You have a point. But let's be clear on that, though. I don't want to be disrespectful, but that's Black men. Black women are they arm to arm with Democrats. So you can't break that.
Which is fine. We're that's why during these election cycles we make sure that we do these videos and these commentaries aimed towards the women because they're not. We understand that Black women. A lot of them don't want to do politics. We understand that. Even though I've told them, hey, politics is everywhere now. You can't escape it. Even when you go buy a new car, there's politics involved. They're going to quit you when they look at your thing and go for the rate because they think you got money. They're going to screw with you because a lot of them don't even know. Fun fact, ladies, when you go get a new car, they can set whatever bar they want on you. and they usually go y'all a little higher because y'all got the
Mhm.
money, y'all got the disposable income. So just take that into consideration when you go get a car or a loan or anything. But
But Jack, he's actually agreeing with you. Like
he
that's not
actually,
even a point, right? That
well, he
that
said stop the cap. All y'all do is vote Democrat.
no, but you agree that it shouldn't be that way. I mean, the sentiment is like you
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
but the way he worded it, that there's no
Yeah, but
agreement there because
well,
we all don't vote Democrat. Yeah, they're still thinking about 98% with Obama. They're still on that. They're not looking at the last 3 election cycles.
I know, but let's not. I mean, but if you the sentiment of the comment is that nobody. I shouldn't be tied into just MAGA candidates. I should be open. Everybody should be open minded, and
And
you agree with that.
we preach that here
Yeah.
too.
So
We're
I
just
think it's
saying
agreement.
that's why we said before, policy over politician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they agree with it, we're gonna listen to you. If you're not, good luck.
So I don't think we got to this question though. How
Which
do
one?
we? So Sister, what was her name? Sorry,
Sister Sean.
Sister Sean. Just an epic rant, a epic comment there, and she ended with anti-war sentiment, like peace.
Mhm.
MAGA agrees with that 100%. So how do we bridge the gap? Is there a way to bridge the gap to say, well, wait a second, the only people in DC that agree with that comment is MAGA, ain't
I
nobody
feel
else.
you, but again, this is what I told you earlier, brother. They had the opportunity to hammer away this reparations talk.
We see we can't do it without so I agree that
They messed it up, bro. I'm sorry. I know it sucks to hear that, but unfortunately, these politicians knew about reparations since John Conyers,
well,
and they did not move a muscle except HR 40.
yeah, which
And
is
they had
it's
HR
just a
40
carrot.
said,
It's
right.
ridiculous. They're not doing anything
2
with that.
years ago, they just said, okay, y'all can start y'all commission.
That's
That's
all.
30 fucking years.
And they only bring it up during election time. You never hear about
And they
it.
let it, matter of fact, they let it lapse last New Year's Eve and then started again a week and a half
They just keep playing games.
after they started with the Caribbean stuff. So at that point, you just told us F you. Okay, you created a monster that you could have hammered out in the 90s.
So here's the number one figure of MAGA right now to me is Carrie Lake. And I think if I could snap a finger, I know you might not like her, but I guarantee you, if I could snap a finger and she would participate in this conversation. I guarantee you that. But let me ask you this: what would you want to hear from her? Is there anything that you could? Let's pretend she was running for president. Is there anything that you would want to hear from, or that you could hear from Carrie Lake that would pique your interest? I guess it has to be about reparations. What would you have to hear her say?
She has to be definitive if she's with it or not. She has to be definitive.
I'm not going to speak with her, but let's say hypothetically in this imaginary world, she says, you know what? I'm not for it, but maybe we could come to the table, stop the billions of dollars to countries overseas, and then we could split it up. If you get representatives in the House, we could split it up amongst people for our own causes. Like
Then
say you
she
stop.
needs to then if she's gonna if she's gonna say something like that, then we're going to counter and say, okay, then we expect before this election, and don't do it the week before. Don't do that. You need to go talk to Dr. Claude Anderson. You need to go talk to Sandy Darity.
I agree.
You need to go talk to the Black grassroots. And when Trump announced his re-election bid, I said he got to come to Black communities. Stop going to these bullshit rallies in these white areas. You got to go talk to Black folk. You want to win, you need Black folks.
Dr. Claude, I have a lot of respect for Dr. Claude.
You need to go to DC and go sit down with that brother for at least an hour and a half. Don't go in there for no goddamn photo op and 10-minute phone call.
Just like she was on Tim Pool, sit down with Dr. Claude, and
we're not gonna get to Tim Pool, but okay.
No, I mean, I'm just saying the format, 2 hours, and
it could even be private. It don't got to be live stream.
I want
you
it
have
live.
to sit.
I want
That's
it live.
fine.
So we can have this.
I need, but I would fine. You want to live stream? That's cool. I know she a politician. She don't want to be called on the car because he gonna ask a hard question. But
I think she would be open to it. Carrie Lake, if you're listening,
it has to be a minimum 90 minutes.
She's not running for president, but
I'm just saying. But
whoever,
anybody,
Trump,
anybody that talks like that, they got to go talk to a reparationist. That's someone that's done the research. and it has to be at least 90 minutes because
I agree.
you can't get reparations in 10 minutes.
No. Oh gosh, no.
And
Yeah.
Dr. Claude Anderson, we all know he has it laid out the way
Oh, he's
it
a
should
beast.
be. Right.
Oh,
And
anybody
he
can
has to
learn
sit
from
there.
him. Yeah.
Now, if you go in there and talk to that person, talk to him, and you go do some other BS, boy, I feel bad for you. Oh, I feel bad because not only did you disrespect the reparations argument, you disrespected an elder. Now, you know,
I would never. Yeah.
right. That would be like Jason Black talking to David Duke, and then all of a sudden he just went off on that man for 5 minutes. We know the white people gonna come over there. The racists gonna come over, come see him.
And I'll say this: I think it's worth it. MAGA, if you're listening, I agree 100% with what he just said. Why not sit down with somebody like Dr. Claude Anderson? If you don't know, author of the book Powernomics, excellent stuff. And I think it's worth it because the politicians do this political math and they say, oh, I don't know if I can really get the black vote or not. I think you're missing out. I think you can start a seed of let's work together. And I think it would be worth it to do something like that.
Yeah. It's not hard.
Not the Breakfast Club. Sit down with
No.
somebody for real.
Well,
and talk.
this is why I also told these politicians, you got to come over here.
Yeah, Kamala Harris wouldn't even talk to Dr. Claude Anderson, much
Right.
less.
You
So
got to
that's-
come to the black grassroots.
Mhm.
You'll get way
Trump?
more respect. Well,
Trump, I don't care. Trump, DeSantis.
I emailed him. I emailed these people. They never got back to me.
Come on, our platform's
Come on,
not
bro.
big enough. Talk to. I completely agree. I even
Dude, he would
like.
get so many eyes just talking to somebody small.
I know. I agree. What about? Do you watch Tony at TD Hip Hop Media?
That's my man. Oh, matter
Oh,
of fact, I'm glad you said
He's a
that.
beast. I love his channel.
Damn. Black Light Revelations. Hello, brother.
What's good, gentlemen? How you guys doing?
I'm good. Okay,
Good,
you
what's
got
up?
one half of TD and Rob. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Rob.
TD, that's my man right there. So you watch TD.
Oh, absolutely. He's one of the first channels I started watching before I did YouTube. Obviously, we don't agree on everything, but that brother's channel, I get his text messages. Yeah, for sure. I'm a fan.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm clearly I watch TD too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What are you watching for?
Well, it was big with 2020, and we agree on a lot. He challenges, you know what I respect is he challenges institutional power. And that's actually how I found out about Marcel Dixon. He did that interview with Marcel Dixon way back when he was running. So I listened to him because it's just great. He's factual. That brother, he lays out he's got his receipts, his evidence. You know, when he was talking about AOC, there was a video years ago, maybe when AOC was talking about reparations for like every other group except black people. He's great.
So, are you familiar with the term post-truth politics?
No.
Okay, so post-truth politics is basically when political ideas or talking points are basically tailored to appease people's emotions versus appease to attack facts, right? So you said that you feel that TD Hip Hop Media, most of the content on his platform is factual. So my question is, how do you honestly disagree with a fact?
Well, the reparations being owed is not a fact.
How is it not a fact?
Well, it's just an opinion. I mean, nothing.
How is it an opinion? So reparations is for a lot of different things. The main thing is chattel slavery and Jim Crow. So you don't feel that there was any damages that took place that would be caused by those situations in the United States?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm not saying that it's not warranted. If you have that feeling, you're legit to have that feeling. I just think the chase for reparations has become toxic in the present. I think it holds back the progress that
What do you think the situations were that created the quote unquote chase for reparations? Were those what?
No, those are legit. I mean, Jim Crow, I have a little bit different take on Jim Crow, but
What's your take on it? Because my father, my grandfather, those are people who actually suffered from Jim Crow. So I'm curious, what's your take on Jim Crow?
oh, I have nothing but respect to your family and anybody who suffered through Jim Crow because I never did. But the problem, we misidentified the problem during Jim Crow. You know what the problem was during Jim Crow? It was the government was dictating. It was laws on the books from the government. I'm fully for discrimination. You should be able to discriminate for whoever you want, however you want.
Who made up the government?
Whoever was in power, it was the
We know who was
Democrats, it
in
was Southern
power.
Democrats.
Who was in power racially?
Oh, it was mostly white people, but
It was all white people.
yeah, but I see the only difference to me.
So do you think that if there was any other group of people that was involved in the government, do you think that they would have been favorable towards rules that would have restricted them from being allowed to do anything? And as far as it being Democrats goes, we all know that the Democrats flipped parties. So the thing is that that part of the United States, the South, was still the United States. We had issues that went on in Oregon where Oregon kicked out all of the black people there and stole all of the businesses. Now, these are feelings, right? I'm the one with feelings. These aren't historical facts. So if I went and did that to some MAGA people, would they be talking about their 2A to defend their property, to defend their rights?
Yeah, and I think they would. Yeah, we agree on that. But do you understand what I'm saying with I think you could have put whatever person. I don't, and I also do not think the Democrat Party flipped. I used to think that, back in the day, early 2000s, the Democrat Party's been the same ever since. They switched their strategy though.
So what did the other parties do to stop the Democrats? Because
nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So which means that they were complicit because they had just as much ability to stop with a veto or whatever kind of political or military means that they wanted to. So not only did they not stop, they also benefited from it.
Yeah, I agree. The Republicans are.
So now what I got to go back and ask you again is how can you disagree with a fact?
Which fact? Which fact?
All the facts that we just listed. All of these events that just took place, and somehow I feel that wrongdoings took place.
Because I agree with the wrongdoings. So I agree with all that. That's just wrong. I don't believe in slavery. I actually do believe in not Jim Crow from the government. I believe that if I'm a store owner, say if you're a store owner and for whatever reason I walk in the store and you're like, I don't like this, bruh. Yeah, I don't care if it's because of skin color, whatever. I think you should be able to kick them out. We misidentified the problem. Jim Crow, the problem was the government did the dictating. What they really didn't like was black people were keeping the money within other black people for the most part. Because of their dumbasses, they had the separation. It doesn't make economic sense to say black people keep money with black people. So they're like, that doesn't make any sense. So you disavow it, then now you have all black people.
Is that one of the reasons why the Wilmington, North Carolina burning took place? Is that the reason why Slocum, Texas took place? Is
Absolutely.
that the reason why Tulsa, Oklahoma took place?
Absolutely.
So now I'm curious as to what voting for Republican or Democrat has to do with why the reparations to the 3 elders in Tulsa haven't been paid. I mean, there's a Republican governor down there, Kevin Stitt. So what's going on with that?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what political party is. You have to have enough power to make them do what you want. Like I used Donald Trump.
I think again, that's the problem, brother. They had no problem giving AAPI that money in 2 weeks. They all agreed on that.
Yeah, I don't know where they got the political power, but
they all agreed to give Native Americans money every year. They all agree on it. They all agree, talking about they want to give dreamers access to college and all that. They all agree on that. But when it comes to our skin color, everybody got to have a dissertation. Everybody got to go on TV and talk about it. Everybody got to go on their YouTube and talk about it. It makes no sense. Why are we the ones with the most grievances? Even the immigrant class, because y'all see what they're doing to the immigrants at the border that are our skin color. They're not letting them in. They're letting in the fair-skinned ones. So even at that point, don't come with the reparations bullshit. You can't hang on to that, but you have a legal grievance there.
And
you're discriminating.
And
they don't want to honor that shit. But I did not know this, Osiris, but I did not know that Mark Hamill was one of your followers. This nigga Isaac Hall looks like Mark Hamill. I ain't even gonna hold you. So I did not know you had Star Wars on deck.
He's good friend of the channel. What's up, Isaac?
Yeah, but it's a legal argument. Correct. It is a legal argument, and it's a fact because Lincoln said so.
I don't know if it's illegal. Wait, why is it? It's a political argument because who are you going to sue?
You sue the government.
Well, here's my question too. A lot of the
they don't want to. But there's the thing: they don't want to go down that road.
A lot of the Republicans, a lot of MAGA people, you guys really like to use Martin Luther King and Martin Luther King talking points.
True.
Except for the part about the check
coming to get our check.
True. Now let me. I'm not an expert on that. Did he really mean check, or was he saying
No, he said
figuratively?
we're coming to Washington to get our check.
He listed all of the things that
Okay.
Americans other than black people benefited from.
Right.
And then he said that's one of the reasons why we
But
have to come
was
for
the
our
check though a metaphorical justice?
No, that
I'm
was
actually.
the
I
actual,
don't know.
no,
I'm
he
just
was,
asking.
He was talking about money.
Okay. Okay.
So
well,
my
then,
he's like, you're gonna do
my
for
question-
everybody else, you're gonna do for us.
If you
And
don't
we
know
want
about all
money.
this stuff, how can you be so against it? You say you watch TD Hip Hop Media,
Mhm.
and like all of this stuff that I'm bringing up, all of these things that I'm asking you, you say your response is that you don't know these things, but then it's like, how can you be against it? It's the same thing. I don't know if you're familiar with the whole, there's these situations that took place with these other content creators, but there was an interview that took place and the guy basically asked the individual, well, you're against this particular process, but you don't know any of the questions that are being asked. How can you be against something that you don't know about?
Well, you
And
can
again,
have
that's why I went back and asked you the question about TD Hip Hop Media. I don't understand what the purpose in you absorbing that content would be if you don't agree with the basis of what the content is for. And the basis of what the content is for reparations.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to tell you there's a lot we agree on other than reparations. But what is it? So, number one, to participate in this political social debate, you don't have to know anything. So that's not a prerequisite to have an opinion
That's
or a
the
vote.
problem. That's
But-
the problem, bro. We got too many people that are not educated talking about
but
subjects
let me-
that they're not
Would you
supposed to
feel
be talking
comfortable with a
about.
brain surgeon who never did any kind of residency or
don't-
medical training, cutting and doing a surgery on your brain? Would you be okay with them doing a lobotomy? I mean, they can take a scalpel and do whatever they want to your head if you give them permission to. But I mean, would you is the question?
Well, but here's the thing: does this apply both ways? I do not agree with that comment at all. You don't have to know about anything, but if there's areas that you're not familiar with, are you saying that you shouldn't have a say in those discussions?
No, we're
I never
saying
said that.
no. We're
Wait,
saying
I said
no,
how
no,
could-
no, no, hold
brother.
up. No, hold up. You said there's certain things. We'll get to that. What do I don't know? But you said I'm basically ignorant to certain things.
No,
so I should.
that's not what I said. I'm going to
Okay.
rephrase it for you so
Okay.
you can hear clearly what I said. What I said is, if you are not versed on all of these things that I'm bringing up, how is it that you're so against it? How can you be against? How can you not be
Okay,
indifferent?
I get you.
How can you? I'm against it. I'm against it. I'm against it. I'm against it. Yet I don't know anything about it. How is it that you don't want to look at facts and look at information and things that are on the table, the data, and then possibly come up with an educated decision? Because it's always those people over there on your side that like to use the term facts over feelings. Feelings aren't racist. Feelings don't hurt. Well, there's plenty of facts that support all of this information. But the reason why I asked you about post-truth politics when we first came into this conversation is because a lot of this kind of thing, including the whole overusage of the word woke and attempting to remove Black history from all of these schools, it's to appease the emotions and to appease the feelings of a lot of those people over there on your side. We got people, I'm looking at the comment section of people over there on your side. They're sitting there assuming that we're Biden supporters. Why? Because I got some bass in my voice. Like, really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
we don't
no,
support
No,
Biden
brother,
over
because
here.
we're black.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
then
We're
these are the very
black.
people that'll say, don't bring race into it. Let's as long as we just wipe everything and don't bring race into anything. But you're assuming that we're all Biden supporters
But isn't that
because
good
of our
though?
race.
But isn't it good to have this discussion so people can see? Wait a second, whoa, because they don't know. They're ignorant on that.
Brother. Unfortunately, what's gonna happen is they gonna turn on you. Unfortunately,
I don't care. I'm
I
not
know you
trying
don't
to,
care, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying
I
you
don't
just
care.
be ready for that because
People have already turned on me because
they're looking at this right now like you're not defending their position.
Whoa, I'm not, I don't care. Number one, I don't care if anybody. You can go unsub, go somewhere else.
Say like,
I'm not
no, bro,
making any
just saying
money.
Generally, when you have
Okay.
these kind of discussions,
Mhm.
people
I
are
don't
gonna be
care.
like, if you talk one way on Monday, but you go talk with these cats and
Oh, no,
you're
I
agreeing
talk
what
the
they
same.
say, right? But
Yeah, I'm not changing my
they're
position.
seeing it in real time now.
They're
I
gonna
don't.
start calling you a liberal, middle mag.
I-
Be careful. You've been on here
Well,
too
that's
long.
that's
Talking
kind
to
of
the
why
wrong
I.
people.
That's kind of why I went with middle because I'm all over the map on this. But so I appreciate you. Now I understand what you're saying is if I don't have some of the knowledge, I don't have a lot of the knowledge y'all have because you guys have knowledge in areas I don't and vice versa. Number one, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to have the discussion. Number two, it's very similar to any other topic. I'm open to being convinced. Haven't been convinced. I've listened. I've been in Twitter spaces, just listening, chatting with people. I'm not convinced on the end goal of reparation being a positive thing in the present, but a lot of the other things that, like when you criticize politicians, I'll agree on it. Like Kamala Harris. I first heard, remember that clip with Kamala Harris where she was like, not like I'm going to do anything for black people or whatever she said. I got that from Tony on TD Hip Hop Media. And I was like, damn, that's a very important quote to know. And so I'm good with having the discussion. See, that's the problem, that it kind of frustrates me, that the idea of reparations, because my take is y'all are anti-war too, right? Like spending money overseas and burning money for gender studies in Pakistan and wars over here and wars over there. MAGA and you agree on that. But we can't get together because, and I'm not blaming you, it's both sides' fault, because we're in this identity and the reparation stuff. We can't get past that.
That's not our fault. We don't
Yeah,
usually
I'm not
talk
blaming
about
you.
those issues as far as those go. I mean, it's very interesting that the United States has full support of MAGA people included, with liberals who support Ukraine and Ukrainian immigrants, who the United States State Department has to put out a warning. Oh, be careful, because these people might call you the N-word or a monkey, which I mean,
did a video. Wait, I got that from Tony. I have a video. I did a short on that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. So these are issues that the MAGA people wouldn't have an issue with, because the MAGA people would have a great, field day with those guys patrolling their homeowners association. But us, that goes to the people with the sentiment that the United States supports coming into the country, that people will act like we have these facetious arguments about these ghost police hunting us down, when you're recruiting people that come with a State Department warning that they come to the United States with anti-black sentiments. But if I'm sitting here saying this, now you got everybody in your comment section flipping upside down saying somebody's woke, despite the fact that the government put this out, because the Azov battalion over there sports a nice little black sun on their flag, which is nothing that anybody should be worried about, because we're all here together as one.
My channel would agree with all of that. Now, maybe the police stuff is a little bit different, but I think most people on the channel, I don't know if I'm just guessing, I think most people would agree with all that. And with the police stuff, I don't even have a problem with it. I just need to hear a balanced discussion. You can't have Jalen Walker running from the police, ski mask on, muzzle out the car, running, not listening, get shot, and then the only take is the police.
And
craziness.
We can have all of these people like your supporters going heads up, boxing with them, snatching the rifle off of the gun rack in the back of the police car, shooting at them. And that's okay. And we're not supposed to look at that as why these people aren't getting treated the same. You got unarmed black people getting killed by the police, and you have armed white people pointing their guns and shooting at the police, and it's just okay.
No, I think we can have that discussion. I'm not afraid of that. We can have that. I think the difference is the worldview. I think the people that are more kind of MAGA-ish do not look at skin color. You can say that everybody has their biases. That's fine, but I don't look into things like this black problem, that white problem. But on your side, it is everything is black.
Then why do you look at? No, it's not on my side, because none of us own any kind of media, and yet and still the conservative and liberal medias both call it black on black crime. And people from the MAGA camp use that term very often. They also say white lives matter. I mean, these are not things that are just inherent to us. Everybody does them, but it's just that you all try to throw it in our lap.
Yeah, there's identitarians on both sides. That's true. But for me personally, I don't care what skin color, because we obviously aren't on the same team just because of the color of our skin. So it's more about the content of your ideas. But I have to run right now. Maybe we can do it again. Kid Gravity, that was a respectful discussion. I loved it. So are you Rob?
Yeah, I'm Rob.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because actually I was watching it before, because you weren't on there early on in the channel, were you?
No, me and TD, we met up and started working together, I want to say maybe like 2 years ago.
Okay, so I think I started following it before. Then I saw you guys started doing those more long form podcasts. I haven't jumped on a video in a while to listen because I've been busy, but much respect, man. I appreciate
we got to get you and we got to get you and Kid Gravity on one. I think that'd be a pretty good conversation. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Are you able to hold it down? Because I got to run and my wife's going to kill me here.
Yeah.
To a meeting.
Go ahead. I feel bad, man. I just
Oh
wanted to come
no.
in and ask you a couple questions, and
Oh
then
no, you
Gravity
good, man.
left,
Not
and
your
this ain't
fault.
even my stream.
I got wrapped up. So if you can hold it down, I appreciate it. I'm gonna be out.
Take it easy, bro.
And before I'm out, Kid Gravity, he can't hear me right now. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for reaching out. It was great. I hate to eject like this. I didn't know we were gonna go up to 12. All right, take care.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I guess I would just try to chill and hold the screen with no dead airtime until Kid Gravity gets back. I don't know where he went. Hopefully he'll come. So what did you guys think about that conversation? I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty productive. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. If you ask me, it'll always just be those kind of conversations. It'll just be the hamster wheel, round and round, round and round. What's good with it, kid?
Yeah, good. I gotta run, y'all, because I gotta go do an interview, and my wife, she said the car just stopped, so I'm trying to teach her how to jump the car. So, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming through. Get the numbers up. If you ain't subscribed, please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Yeah, smash that like button. Make
Yeah,
sure y'all show
but
Kid Gravity some love.
I'm gonna leave y'all with a little bit of something. Sister Sean, you was waiting patiently. You go off, and then I'm gonna end the show. Go ahead.
You know how I go off. I didn't want you. I was coming for Middle MAGA, and I'll just say that I wanted to correct him, and then you guys can correct him for me. I was not giving off a rant. I was given a demand, and I think he owes me an apology, because I'm spitting facts and I'm stating the case and justifying the case while we're owed our reparations. And I take offense when I talk in different spaces and different places for them to categorize it as a rant. Okay, this is not a rant, this is a demand. And the next thing that I reject, and everybody else should reject, no, I am not a victim. When you listen to me, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor of the Black Holocaust. And this is what I'm going to drill into all of these heads, these foreign heads, the white man head, the Mexican head, the Arab head, all of the people who are coming against us, right? All of you, because all of you at this point, you're perpetuating white supremacy, and we're coming after you next because you are cosplaying and you co-signing this bullshit. And I'm letting my people know, don't let them get away with it either. Right? And we got it in modern day. And to remind everybody, this is the modern day slave patrols. This is nothing but slave patrol 2.0 with the police. Right? So this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with it.
It's also part of the culture. Uh-oh. We lost Sister Sean.
And then
the
biggest thing, and not only that, come on, people. And then I'm going to close with this. What we're dealing with now, don't even, I'm going to do with the past. But in modern day, we've got slave patrols, which is the police department, the prison industrial complex, who's really building this economy, feeding this economy through people on low-level marijuana charges still sitting in jail when the white man is getting all the money. And then now 2.0, Slave Patrol 2.0 is getting to Slave Patrol 3.0 because they just announced them AI police dogs, y'all. AI police dogs. Come on.
Facts. And the thing is, what I find funny is they're talking about we don't know what Holocaust and massacres were. There was a race massacre that your relatives were probably involved in every single state here in the United States. And you guys are so sensitive, you can't even deal with your own history and your own culture that you created for yourselves here in the United States, that you need your boy Ron DeSantis and Kevin Stitt and Governor Abbott and all of those clowns to erase the history because your children are too weak to be able to hear what it is that they created, that created the advantages for them in this country. That's not our fault. We didn't get any advantage from any of this. And if you guys think that we enjoy talking about this nonsense, we don't.
No, I got you. You're right. Just leave us the fuck alone. Why are you so infatuated with us? It's a sickness. You're so infatuated and fascinated with us because you don't have anything of your own where you can just sit and suck our blood. They're like blood suckers.
And you got these, and you got these people talking about what happened in the past isn't okay. Viola Fletcher, who was a direct victim, yeah, she's a victim, the V word, the victim of the Tulsa Race Massacre, is still alive today. Like you guys like to always say, people that are still alive today, she's still alive today, about 107 years old, fighting for her life and fighting for her restitution down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with Governor Stitt trying to make sure that that doesn't even get taught in the schools because of the fragility.
What about this? You didn't talk about no motherfucking fragility when you wanted to give $450,000 per person to them damn illegal immigrants at the border.
Facts.
Fuck fragility. We've got to fight, and we got Tulsa, Oklahoma survivors. We're not victim. Oh, I'm trying to Negro, always trying to play a victim. No, we are survivors of the Black Holocaust, and don't let them forget it. And those Tulsa, Oklahomans, they are survivors. So you're gonna pay a damn babies on the damn border when these mothers really CPS need to be called because they do this on purpose. Who the hell throws their damn baby over a damn fence to go God knows anywhere, subjected to rape, cruelty, or anything else? If it was a Black woman, CPS would come take our damn children. These people do this intentionally to take advantage of our laws.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm gonna throw my damn baby over. Then all of a sudden, I'm gonna have sympathy, and we're gonna give him $450,000. Mama, I don't want to be disrespectful of Mama, but I got to do it. I just can't. God forgive me, bitch. If you throwing your goddamn baby over goddamn border, and you know you goddamn did it, you never had no business doing it in the goddamn place because you didn't give a fuck about your child. So you're going to throw your goddamn baby over here to be in my damn pockets and my goddamn bank account. Now I got to pay you $450,000 per person, which was proposed. They swept that under the rug. We need to see what the fuck is up with that. What is the payouts? But yet you want to pay, you can't pay a 100-year-old barely surviving Tulsa, Oklahoma survivor? Do you see the hypocrisy? We got more money. Black folk got more money. We paying the damn Ukrainians Social Security when that same 100-year woman wasn't qualified. It had to wait. It had to be a whole big fight in order for her to get her Social Security. Man,
here's even more hypocrisy. If these people are so bold, if they're not cowards like they claim to not be, what are they so scared of about the history of their ancestors being taught in schools? What's the problem?
But they're scared because they don't want sympathy.
They don't want us because the books about the history, it'll be their family albums. You know what I'm saying? And like the thing is that they don't want anybody to know about it, so they can continue to just try to water down all of the talking points like what they're doing right now. Let's talk about every single massacre. Let's talk about every single city, every single river, every single national monument, every single location in the United States that's named.
Rob, you know what they're gonna do when we try to do that. You know what they're gonna do.
Facts.
But we got to tell them we know what they're gonna do, but they don't know what we gonna do. So we're not.
But that's why I told them. That's why I told the brother, listen, we changed the tactics. We're not gonna do what everybody else does. That's why we're gonna knock off politicians. We gonna make sure situations like reparations and anti-hate legislation trends, whereas your media apparatus is going to be forced to talk about it. And look what happened in 2 years. You're hearing them. You just saw that Vivek idiot just go on TV talking about that Don Lemon don't know nothing about what it is being black.
But Vivek does.
But he does. And matter of fact, he just went at one of his own people on Twitter today. It was hilarious. He went at another Indian American who was siding with y'all on reparations, and he's like, "Oh well, you know, we should be able to debate and have civil discourse." I'm like, "You're not having a debate, sir. I'm not even gonna say I'm honorary white, and I say so."
About the road, these immigrants, Vivek, the bootlicks, the black white men, and all these lieutenant governments, and oh man. Don Lemonade, Ding Dong, the Don is dead. All of that. I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. We don't care, and you got to get it out your mind. Don't give 2 iota about them. These people are jockeying for colonial white supremacist type position.
Yeah,
Get it
facts.
through your head.
Super
Get
fact.
it through your head. I don't give a damn what you link. I care about what come out your fucking mouth and what you sign on the paper. Nothing. These people see. They see a crack.
Jack
They
Johnson,
see
stay safe.
fish, and they're trying to jockey for position to be the new white supremacists. I swear to God, we got to wake up on that.
Yeah, well, that's our job. We got 18 months to wake these people up. They gonna learn.
Super
Because
facts.
and if anything, y'all need an example. Y'all see what's going on with Candace Owens right now. She's fixing to get broken, and that's gonna be huge. Notice they don't have. Haven't y'all noticed she ain't been on TV in months?
Oh, she's getting lots of videos. You guys in the comment section over there that are outraged, you're welcome to come watch us drag Candace Owens when she gets.
I told y'all the day she gets her wake up call, I'm leaving work. I am leaving work.
Owen party.
I'm down.
Torian and I got the Party City stuff. All we gotta do is hit send.
I'm definitely.
We got it
I'll
ready.
be there.
It'll be there in an hour.
Bro, I got the thumbnail ready.
I'm gonna bring some cake.
You will see this. You will see this. It probably it's gonna have a bow on top. It's gonna be great.
I got a question for El Jefe. I'm assuming El Jefe is Latino. I'm curious what he thinks about Nuri Martinez.
Oh, he probably loved that woman. He probably got pictures of her. You know how
now that's interesting
Photoshop.
because
you know how you like the Photoshop.
Yeah, she's a Democrat too.
Yeah, but she's doing something against the negros, the negrito. What do you call it? Negritos?
So that's the
Negritos
unspoken
and
political
negritas?
party that they don't want to talk about.
Oh yeah. But you saw how mad they got when they were talking about when we were going in on Cholo, right? You saw how mad they got.
Right.
Oh, they was ready to fight all of us.
Yeah. To ask them about Officer Villanueva, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right.
Sheriff
Villanueva. You know what one of us said? Chris Dorner. Oh, they got their feelings. They got their feelings. And then we say this.
Beat it. Wash your ass.
We don't play with that. My wife is Mexican, not me. Okay, say less. So, do you agree that she has a grievance against the government? Because now Mexicans are saying they're Native Americans. That would be called victimhood mentality. Do you agree with your wife having a victimhood mentality? I like to know this.
What tribe are they saying they're from?
Because no, you don't agree with it. Cool. But that's your house. You're allowed to lay down the law in your house. This, again, is a debt owed from the government to the foundationals. Y'all don't got nothing to do with this because I ain't seen none of y'all outside protesting that Ukraine shouldn't get this money. Didn't see it. Maybe y'all send me the video. I didn't see this. When the AAPI got their money down here in Atlanta, federally, y'all didn't go outside and protest this. Didn't see it. Native Americans get paid every year. I don't see y'all protesting in front of these reservations saying y'all don't need to get paid. Japanese Americans in the 80s got their money from Reagan. Y'all didn't protest that. Not near one of y'all. I looked on YouTube. I looked for the videos. I looked on the Library of Congress. They don't have videos of this. But when it comes to black folks, everybody want to come outside. And let me tell y'all something. And Rob, you can yell at me and Sister Shaw can cuss me out later. Guess what? Once they get their reparations, they'll shut up.
Yeah,
I promise you they'll shut up. You will never hear from black folks again until they come in there to undercut you and take what you got because they're shrewd businessmen and businesswomen.
Yeah, I'll just be buying up all your stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only time you're going to hear from them. They're going to rebuild their legacies, build up their infrastructures, like those micro cities that they have at College Park that white people pissed off about.
Making sure that you only take a 30-minute and 15-minute break.
Facts. Facts. And y'all won't have to worry about black folk no more. Black folk create their own social media platforms where they go on there, and we know y'all gonna sneak up on in there anyway. Y'all ain't got to worry about black folk. That should help y'all. And y'all won't even help that. Maybe the politician need to say it like that. You pay off the foundationals, you'll never hear from them. You'll have something to hold over them because we know y'all like that. The next time they come with a grievance, say you got the money, take care of it yourself.
Yeah, you'll
But
be
we
able
know
to
the foundationals
honestly.
will never go to that level.
Yeah, you'll be able to honestly, not lie, honestly say we
Yeah.
got our reparations instead
Yeah,
of
you
just
can
lying
actually
and
say,
babbling like
pull
they do
yourself up by
now.
your bootstrap.
Right. KG, I gotta bounce, bro. I
Yeah, I
appreciate
gotta
you letting
bounce
me
too
up.
because I gotta go do this interview.
All right, bro. Yo, I'm gonna get at you on Twitter, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Peace.
Sister Sean, I don't know if
Sister
you
Sean,
left.
nice to meet you. Great, you know what I'm saying? You great words. Keep doing what you do. You got a YouTube channel or anything? Because I'm gonna check you out, see what you're talking about.
Sister Sean's usually in Twitter Spaces.
Oh, she be on Twitter. I don't be on Twitter
Yeah.
or all like that, but I'm gonna try to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. That was a great interview. Went a little longer than I thought, but you know, we got to get all the points out. So I appreciate Osiris coming in. And I think we got to a general consensus. He's not for reparations, but other stuff that we have grievances for, he'll support. So, you know, it's gonna take some work. It's gonna take some work. Yeah. And yep, that's what I'm fighting for. But yes. So guys, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe. Faith Thomas, we will talk. Send me a message on Twitter. We will talk about that. We'll try to do something for you. And yes, if you haven't shared, like, and subscribe, please do. And don't be too hard on Osiris. I mean, I'd rather have him say how he feels in front of the family so we could get full context than, you know, we just doing the videos on it. That wouldn't be cool. But anyway, folks, y'all go take care, stay safe, and catch me in about 7.5 hours with Beatzilla and others as we start the wrap up of, unfortunately, it sucks that it has to end, but New Black Media Appreciation Month. It's going to be a nice panel. And also, rest in paradise to Mr. Harry Belafonte. Rest in power. Paradise, rest in heaven, whatever you want to call it. Take care, stay safe, and y'all know what to do when the white supremacists and the agitators of peace come to mess up your existence.